Pop, pop. What up, people? It's Ja Wiggs, all about the biz. You know what it is, and it's right here. We are live, EPG Biz Talk. That means it's Wednesday night around 8 ish, where we like to talk to the city's hottest entrepreneurs, the city's growing brands, people that are building up from the ground up. We like to take time and to get behind the brand and listen to some of the entrepreneurial stories of some of the bosses of today. I want to shout out everybody that's tuning in early on the Instagram. I want to shout out everybody that's tuning in early on the Facebook. And of course, I want to shout out everybody that's tuning in early onto the YouTube. If you are tuned in, make sure we keep the chat busy. I want you guys to put your business name in the chat so we can give you a shout out during the show. Today we have two special guests here today that we're going to be speaking with. The first guest is Hillary Dunkley Campbell of Hillary Encourages. And our second guest we have is Dr. Patsy from the Naturalist Clinic. Let me see if we can get this advert up here. So as you can see here, we're going to be speaking with Miss Hillary Dunkley Campbell. She's a Christian author and the owner of Hillary Encourages. And as you can see on the ad, we're also going to be speaking with Dr. Patsy. She's a clinical herbal practitioner, and she is part of the Naturalist Clinic. So before we get into today's guest, I got to let you guys know some of what's happening in the city and some of the projects that we have on the go. So, like I said, first thing is to remember we are here every Wednesday night, 8 ish. 8 ish. I like to keep everybody on their toes where we get behind the brand. Everybody knows I always work with a lot of businesses, a lot of entrepreneurs of all levels, but we rarely get to hear the behind the scenes, the behind the brand, behind the packaging. So every Wednesday, we're going to be asking the who's, the what's, the where, the when's, the why's, and the how's to some of these entrepreneurs. So join us weekly for in-depth conversations with the city's hottest emerging entrepreneurs, local brands, and growing businesses and people. If you got a business, if you got a brand, and you want to be a guest on the show, it's easy. Give us a link through DM, through email, and we'll send you the link and you could set your date because the world needs to hear what you have to say. Now, before we get into the nitty gritty and to get into all the details, I want to let you guys know about the fantastic book fair that's going to be happening in 2024, March break. Shout out to Hillary Encourage, a frequent member of the Fantastic Book Fair. So if you're an author, if you're a creative, if you're an editor, a writer, if you are in the creative field and you want to be a part of this event, link up early and we're going to get the place busy. In addition to that, people, remember about the signature event that we have coming up. It's the fifth annual Durham Region Holiday Marketplace happening Saturday, November the 11th, Sunday, November the 12th, and Sunday, December the 10th. So, as you can see, this year we have three fun days planned of local shopping, great entertainment, good food, and so much more. So make sure y'all check it out. Free admission to everybody, all ages welcome. And we have so much more surprises in store for this event that I haven't even released yet. So stay posted to the social media because you never know what's going to happen next. Again, I want to shout out all the people tuning in early. Shout out to Adorable Delights. Shout out to Creative Explorations. Shout out to Dr. Patsy. She's tuning in right now. We're going to be hearing from her a little bit later on. Shout out to Baked by Sweet Oasis, Rally Ben, Silver Bullet, Lukey Supreme, Ebony Occasions, and everybody else that I have missed. Make sure you stay posted and put your name in the chat so we can give y'all a big shout out. In addition to that, people, I want to let you know if you guys are looking for that fresh haircut, that fresh look, that fresh fade, make sure you check out Arthur's Hair Design and Barbershop, located in the heart of Ajax in Pickering Village, 40 Old Kingston Road, Unit 212. Now open from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Tuesday to Saturday. Now, in addition to looking fresh, in addition to looking fresh, we want to make sure that you're feeling fresh. And in order to feel fresh, you got to eat good and you got to drink good. So make sure you check out Natural Reset Juices Inc., cold pressed to give you the best. As you can see, they got 6 wonderful flavors for you to choose from. So make sure you hit up naturalresetjuices.ca and get yourself naturally reset. And people, don't just believe there's good in the world. You got to take time and be the good in the world. That's something I say. So we want to make sure we not only think good, we want to make sure we take our time and do good. Don't wait for others. Don't wait for others to do good. Don't wait for others to do things that you would do. Take time and do the things that you know that need to get done. Like I say, don't just believe there's good in the world. We got to take time and be the good in the world. So, hope everybody had a great last couple of days. I hope everybody had a great start to the week. Like I said, we are here every Wednesday around 8-ish. We're going to be talking to the city's hottest entrepreneurs and growing brands, asking the basics and some of the tough questions as well. But the main feature is we want to get to know the city's entrepreneurs. This is EPG Biz Talk, and I would like to introduce to you our first guest. She goes by the name of Hillary Dunkley Campbell. Like I said, she's been in the network for almost a year now. She's been a part of couple, been a good part of couple, been a good part of my events, and she's very active on social media on the WhatsApp. She's making sure she sends out positive messages every day. So make sure y'all tune in to Hill Encourages, and stay in the network because, like I said, she's always posting great messages out to the people. I'm gonna put up her Instagram right there, Hillary Encourages and Hill Dunk. So make sure you add her up and get some of that positive inspiration. So I think we should bring Hillary on and see what she has to say. Hillary, are you there? Welcome to the
Thank
show, Hillary.
thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah, no problem. It's great having you. Like I said, since you've been in the network, one thing I have to give you respect for is your persistence. You're always sending out positive messages every morning at about 7:30. You send out a positive message and a positive post to keep the people inspired. And I know a couple days of the week you actually go live
Yes,
and
I
do the
tried.
live inspiration. So again, I want to shout you out for that, and I want to shout you out for not being afraid to promote yourself and promote your business. So shout out to you on that.
Thank you. I have no choice. I have no choice.
Well, like I say, I always say to people, if you don't promote yourself and market yourself, then who's
Yes,
going to do it?
yes, yes.
Right? So we got to take time and we got to do what we know needs to be done for our business. So, Hillary, our show is all about shouting out the entrepreneurs, finding out a little bit more about the entrepreneurs, because we're always talking about branding this, we're always talking about your brand, we're always talking about your business. But we want to know a little bit more. We want to know behind the brand. We want to go
Yes,
behind the label. We want to see
yes.
what some of the stories that inspired some of the entrepreneurs like yourself. So I think it's only fitting that we start at the beginning. And at the beginning, the first question I would like to know, starting with the who's, is who is Hillary Dunkley Campbell?
Who is Hillary Dunkley Campbell? Well, first and foremost, Hillary is a child of God. Hillary is a voice of encouragement to the nations. She is a mother, she's a wife, she's an author of 4 impactful, encouraging books and counting that was written to empower and to just bring people sense of hope that we live in a time where it seems we live in a time where it is so sad. It is, every day you get up, there's always something horrible happening. We have war in the Middle East. We have, violence everywhere. And there's a sense of hopelessness. Like you people believe that God doesn't exist anymore. But the Lord has given me a mandate that I must go and do my part to encourage the nation. So that is who Hillary is. This is part of her my assignment that I've been given.
All right, thank you for that beautiful intro. So I think I got a little piece of information there, but I'm gonna extend it. So Hillary, who inspired you to become an entrepreneur?
Well, it all started with I want to give kudos to the Lord. I honestly cannot sit here and say that I got up and I decided, oh, today I'm just going to be this brilliant writer. But the Lord, every one of us, the Lord has a plan for us. You may get up and you may feel like, what is my purpose? There's no point of me living, as they would say in Jamaican dialect, nothing now go on for me. But I want to encourage you, that's a lie from the pit of hell. Every one of us is born with a purpose. And it's just up to us to figure out and to know what our purpose is. And it started for me by doing a mind renewal course with Reverend Leo Stowe Morrison. The mind renewal course is where it's a 9-week course where you sign up, and it's the Bible speaks about we must be transformed by the renewing of our mind. And nothing changes until our mind changes. It doesn't matter how we get up every day and we thought that I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna be that. But if we don't get it into our mind, if our mind is not changed, there is no way. Nothing. Our mind, we cannot go. Our feet cannot go where our mind doesn't go. Because Jamal, I could be talking to you and I'm saying that I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna write this book. I'm gonna open this business, but saying it with my lips, but in my mind, I'm still thinking that I can't do it. There's no way I can do this. So until our mind is in sync with our words, with our action, we'll never get going. So basically, that's what this course is about. It empowers you, it tells you, you know, to think differently. It puts you in situation that you must renew your mind. You must think outside of the box. So that's where it started for me. And at the end of the course, we had to write a note to ourselves. And after I wrote the note, actually, let me back up a little bit. So when I went into the course, when I started about this course, I struggled with doubt. I struggled with fear. I struggled with just believing in myself. And throughout this course, based on the activities that you got to do, it helped you to overcome doubt. It helped me to overcome fear. It even helped me with my writing because when I went to school, and I'm presently in school, but I always struggled with writing. And in the course, you had to do exercises where you had to write. And even just doing that, that helped me. And at the end of the course, I was asked, we were given an assignment that we had to write a letter to ourselves. And after I wrote the letter, that's how it started for me with writing. And that birthed my first book. My first book, I'm Encouraged. And in this book, we have 30 days of self affirmation, just encouraging yourself in the Lord. And that's where it started for me with writing.
Well, thank you for that. And what I love about that, or what I find totally interesting, is that you didn't like writing, you were apprehensive about writing, but
Yes, very much.
something called you, and now you're the author of about 6 books, 5 or 6 books.
Well, I have four, well, six. Well, I have 4 books and I have 2 journals.
Oh, two
I'm
journals.
still writing. I'm still writing.
Well, with that being said, if you're tuned in, I want you guys to take that as a lesson, right? Just because you may not be interested in something right away, just because it may not be your main focus right away, don't completely shun that out, because you
Yes.
never know where your calling is, and you never know who's going to need you to be the one to inspire them. So I want to thank you for that piece of information. That was great. So as in being an author, in starting your journey, or anywhere along your journey, who are your role models or your business influences?
Well, first, I must give honor to God. You will always hear me speaking about God because I cannot sit here and take kudos to myself for my without giving him glory. But also, God uses people. His blessings come through people. And I must say, my wonderful husband that I have, Trevor Campbell, he is my encourager. He always said to me, he does not believe in the word can't. Can't doesn't exist in his vocabulary. So he is my number one supporter. And I also must give kudos to my mentor, Reverend Leostow Morrison. He is the founder of Restoration of the Breach Without Borders, a ministry that I am a part of. And he is the one who, oh my God, he pushed me. He refused to say no. He refused to say no. Let me put it out there. You need to have people in your corner who identify things in you that you don't see. And they just refuse to say no. They refuse to accept your excuses. And he pushed me and he pushed me and he pushed me. I remember, I'll share a story. I assist him. I'm his assistant. And I remember I was working with him on the second, I think it was like the second semester of the course, the mind renewal course. And I had started writing the book, but it wasn't completed. And I remember another sister of mine, she had completed her book, and I was busy promoting her book. And I tell you what my dear friend did. He called me out in front of the class and he said, "Can you imagine this lady have her book and she did not finish her book, but here she is promoting other people's book." And it goes to show that sometimes we get to a point and then we are stuck. We just don't we have to finish. It's good to start, but you have to finish. And by him doing that to me, I I immediately went and I finished the book. And here I am, 4 books later, working on my 5th book. So you need people in your corner and people that are gonna tell you the truth. You need people that is gonna tell you the truth. That listen to me, Hillary. What you're doing is not working. You gotta do this. You gotta do this. You can't have people around you that just say yes and let you feel good. That's not helping you. You need real people that's going to say to you, what you're doing does not make no sense. If you want to be successful, you got to do this. You have to sacrifice. And I'm so blessed to have individual in my life that has been there to push me to where I am today. I'm not hearing you. I think you're muted.
Thanks. So I definitely would agree with what you're saying, and I would also co-sign that because it's very important to have people in your corner, like you said, that are going to tell you the truth, tell you the things that you may not want to
Yes.
hear, whether
Yes.
it's good or bad or positive or constructive criticism. You always need those people to give you the real. And I tell people inspiration can come in many forms and can come from many people, but you always got to trust your family, your friends, and those people that are around you, because more often than not those people have your best interest in mind.
Yes,
um
and do it with love.
and do it
Do it
with
with
love.
love. Do it with love. Yes.
So Hillary, we heard about some of the people who inspired you. We heard about some of your role models. As an author, who are your favorite authors? Whose books do you like to read?
Oh wow. Well, funny you mentioned that. I grew up because I'm Jamaican background, and I grew up reading fictional books. I love. I don't know if anybody remember those photo romance that they used to publish way back in the day. Kind of aging myself here, and I loved reading that book, and I used to love romance book and fiction. But when I started writing, my very own book here, Hillary Encourages, Be Encouraged, and my other book, which is called What is Stopping You, I find that I'm drawn to books that empowers you. When I read the book, it gives me, I must feel like I gain from it. And one of my favorite author, and I know I'm gonna sound biased here, is my very dear friend Leo Stone Morrison. He is an amazing author, and I don't have any, I can't even know how much book he's up to, but his very first book was is called Mind Renewal, Biblical Secrets to a Better You. I'm just looking to see if I can find it. That's one of my favorite, favorite book, favorite book outside of the Bible. And I have a lot of books, but off the top of my head, right now he's one of my favorite author.
Well, I love that. I love that you're bigging up local authors and people that you know,
Yes,
because again,
yes,
you're supporting those around you, and you're not just
yes.
saying it just to say it. You actually get inspiration from the book, and it gives you good
Yes,
feeling.
when you
So that's
read,
the
let
main
me
thing.
tell you, when you read his book, you highlight, you highlight it. And I'll say this. When you're writing, when you're a child of God, and I'm a Christian author, the inspirations come from God Himself. And anything that God does, it's always done with excellence. It's going to inspire you. It's always going to be done with excellence. And He is inspired by the Holy Spirit. And when He writes, you feel empowered. You feel like you can get it done. And He's very real. His writing, it's not a pretense like it's the world is a bed of roses.
He doesn't give you the fluff. He gives you
No,
the real.
I'm gonna ensure that he comes on this program. I'm
Yeah,
making sure he
definitely,
comes on your
definitely.
program. Yes. So he's one of my favorite author. As I said, I have many other books that I read, but I love to read books that inspire me, that empower me. When I finish read a book, I must get something from it, positive, because you have to feel. Remember, whatever you put in is what you put
Is
out.
what you put out.
So you have to be mindful of what you listen to. And that's one of the reasons why it's challenging for me to listen to some of the music that's available now. Because when I listen to it, it's like, what? Outside of take away the beat and all of that, it makes no sense. So we have to be mindful of what we're feeding your
Feeding our
spirit.
mind.
Yeah, feeding your mind with. Because what you put in here is what you put out, right?
Well, I love that, and I love the fact that you actually segued into my next question. So I like to throw it a little off course sometimes. So Hillary, who is your favorite musician?
Oh Lord. My favorite musician. Oh God.
If you
You
if
know,
you if after the show, if you were gonna go turn on something right now, who are you turning? Who are you turning? Whose music are you turning on?
oh my God. If I'm into the if it's for Christian, right now I'm feeling elevation worship. If it's like you want to get into the mood with you and your hobby, you always have some Luther.
Okay, okay, okay. I feel you. I feel you. I feel you.
Yeah. Listen to me, Jamal. Can I be frank with you? To be honest,
Definitely.
I honestly don't listen to secular music that much.
Okay, that's no
I
problem.
I don't. And my daughter always says it to me. She said, "Mom," I said, "What can Beyonce do for me? I can't pray to her and she do anything for me right now." So as a Christian, I honestly I don't listen to secular music. I said unless it's a romantic time and you have the hobby you want to set the mood, then you have some nice lovey-dovey music. But outside of that, I really don't honestly. I listen to music that can
That can
inspire
inspire
me.
you.
I listen to music that glorify God.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that at all. Nothing
Yeah,
wrong with that.
yeah.
So you mentioned you have the husband at home. You mentioned you have the kids. So who is the cook in your house?
Well, I mostly do the cooking. I cannot sit here and say that I love cooking. I just cook. You grow up in Jamaica and your parents teach you how to do everything.
Yep.
I had a father like that. You had to cook, you had to clean. It was not a choice. So I cook because I have to. But if you come to my house and you're a good cook, I will do all the cleaning and I will allow you to cook. But my husband cooks as well.
All
And
right. All
actually,
right.
my kids, I have two children. My son is 20 odd years old, 24 years old, and my daughter is 15. But both of them, they cook. And when they cook, they really do a good job. They don't do it that often, so they cook as well.
They cook. All right. All right. All right. So we got to know some of the who's. So thank you for taking your time and answering all those questions. We got to know a little bit about the backstory. And I think right now, I think we should move on to the what's. So
Mhm.
I know you're heavily into the church and you're a Christian author. So what are your core values and principles as an entrepreneur?
Core value, everything that you do, put God first. Seek his face. Anything that you're doing, you always seek God first. If the ideas come in your head, you go to God with it. God, I got this idea. And make sure it's rooted and grounded in doing what is godly. We live in a time where we feel that the quick way is the easy way. And not because it's good means that it's godly. So anything that we do, it must be pleasing to God. Jamal, I'm always gonna go back to putting God in everything that I do because I cannot do anything without Him. And another thing, always keep going, keep going. You will fail, and it may not work out the way that you want, but don't stop. Just keep going. Just keep going. And I go back to Thomas Edison and I actually wrote it down because I wanted to quote it what he said exactly word for word. He said that, hold on, let me find it here. He said a journalist asked him, what did she say? How does it feel to fail 1,000 times? Edison simply answered, I didn't fail 1,000 times. The light bulb is an invention that required 1,000 attempts before it could succeed. So always keep going. Not because it didn't work out the way that you anticipated, and just keep going, just keep trying. Just keep trying and believe. Believe in yourself. Believe in the God that's in you and believe in yourself and surround yourself and go back again with positive people, people that can pour into you, people that can encourage you. And don't pay attention to the naysayers.
Well,
Don't pay
definitely.
attention to the naysayers because, as Jamal and I were talking before, you can never please anybody. It doesn't matter what you do. People are always going to criticize you. People are always going to make fun of you. Right now, I'm talking, I'm pretty sure people are criticizing me. And that's just how the world, that's just a part of life. It's human nature. We criticize each other, but don't let the negativity stop you. So my core value is just put God first. Always do what is godly, what is right in the eyes of God, even if it means that people are gonna walk away from you. But once you're in the right standing with God, God will bring them. God will bring the right people. God will bring the right people around to help you get that business, get that book, whatever it is that you're doing.
All right. All right. Well, thank you for that as well. So, just like you mentioned, we always got to keep going. Sometimes you may fail, you may try things, it
Yes,
may not succeed
yes.
at the first.
Failure is
You
a part of success.
Failure is a part of success. So, with
Yeah.
that being said, Miss Hillary, um, what are some of the challenges that you faced when starting your business and building your brand?
Oh Lord. Well, as I said in the beginning, was that I struggled with doubt. I struggled with fear of fear of failure, failure of not living up, fear of not living up my expectations, people's expectation, and even expect what God expects of you. Because sometimes you say, God, I don't feel like I did a good job today. And sometimes you're trying to please people, and then you struggle with doubt yourself. So that was one of the issue that I struggled with, just getting started, and oh God, procrastinating. Oh Jesus, still working on that one. Still work, Jamal. If I had followed when God downloaded these, I should be up to probably my 8th book by now. But you keep saying that, oh, I'm gonna do it tomorrow, and then you start it and it's halfway. I have about 2 books. I'm working on one, and another one that I should have finished already. I'm not even a quarter away with it. So whatever you start, just finish it. Halfway, it doesn't make sense that you started and you don't finish. So try to finish. And I still struggle with the procrastinating. I'm working on it. And the doubtful part of it, I'm getting better. I'm getting better at it. And also fear. The Bible said that the Lord has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and love and a sound mind. Fear will cripple you, like literally stop you in your track, break you out in sweats. You
Yeah,
can't
it's so
move.
true.
And let somebody ever go say something negative. Oh my God, it ends it there. So you have to get to a point where you are just fearless. I'm just gonna go out there and I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna believe in God. I'm gonna believe in the God that's in me. I have to believe in myself that I can do this. And it goes back to your mind. Nothing changes until your mind changes. And I have a sister that is on a Victory Donna Morris. I know she's gonna be. I'm inviting her to be on your program. Her book is about the renewal of the mind. And there's nothing, if you tell yourself in your mind that you cannot do it, you will not do it.
You will not do
But
it.
you see, once you tell yourself that I'm gonna do this, and it doesn't matter what Tom, Dick, or Harry says, you're gonna do it. So it starts in the mind. So you have to start in your head and say that I can do this. I will not allow fear. I will not allow doubt. I'm gonna do this. And once your mind change, it's just a matter of you just executing it and just completing what you started. You just need to start. You just need to start. And once you start, just keep going, keep going. Yes, it's like when you're driving. Say you're driving on a country road. Give example in Jamaica, because Jamaica sometimes we don't have the best road. But even here in Toronto, because sometimes the roads are so horrible, and you'll drive on a smooth part and it's okay, but there's sometimes you're gonna drop in a little pothole, and sometimes the wheel, you may have a punctured wheel, and you have to come out and put on a new tire, and it may delay you a bit, but that doesn't stop you. So you continue, you press gas and you continue again. And sometimes you might run out a little gas, and sometimes you may have to go call on brother Jamal to come get you some gas, but it doesn't matter. Just keep going, just keep going, just keep going, and keep your eyes on the destination. I'm not hearing you.
Sorry about that. So again, I agree with what you're saying. And another thing that I want to point out or focus on that you mentioned is you got to keep going, and you also got to believe, like whatever you want, whatever you put your mind to, um, it's either going to happen or not happen. But that's really based on your belief and your positive thinking. It may not happen in the exact way you want it to happen, but as long as you keep focused and have a positive mind, then there's nothing stopping us from doing anything that we want to do. So I definitely want to
And
agree with you there.
I just want to add, and this is one of the books, the title of the books that the Lord gave me. He said, "What is stopping you?" I literally got the title of this book one morning. I woke up out of my bed. It's like, what is stopping you? And there are so many things that stop us, and this is just a few. So in the book, I write about fear, I write about doubt, discouragement, self sabotage. Hey Jamal, do you know that we sabotage ourselves? People don't have to do anything to us,
Yeah, we do it
We
all the
self
time.
sabotage ourselves. What's stopping us? Insecurity. And as I mentioned, procrastination, not to mention people's opinion.
We talked about that
We,
earlier.
we worry, and sin stops us. When you're not living for Christ, sin, you're living for the devil. So sin will stop us from accomplishing the purpose that God has placed in our life. And this is what I wrote about in my book, What is Stopping You?
All right. Well, I definitely love that.
Yeah.
Um, I love the title. What's stopping us? Because, like you said, there's so much different things that's stopping us, and a lot
Yeah.
of it is internalized. A lot of it has to do with us, things that we doubt in ourselves, the way we
Yes.
see ourselves. We're worried about other
Yes.
people. So I definitely resonate with a lot of what you're saying there. Now we heard about. Oh, go ahead.
No, I just wanted to add that, people's opinion. I just want to touch on that because we live in a time where we compare ourselves to others. We judge ourselves based on people's status in WhatsApp and what we see on social media. And what we have to understand is that people are not going to show the worst of themselves, because I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna get up and show, when I just wake out of my bed and my eye full of matter and my hair is a mess. I'm gonna wait until I'm put together and I'm gonna put out my best picture. So sometimes we are trying to compare to ourselves to others. We have to understand that you are unique. I cannot try and be Jamal, and Jamal cannot try and be me, because we're two different people. What we can do, we can work together on an assignment for the greater good. But I shouldn't get up today and try to be like Jamal. Or Jamal cannot try and be like Hillary. God made us unique. If God wanted multiple Jamal, He would have done that. But God wanted one Jamal, and God wants one Hillary. So we have to embrace who you are. Enjoy who you are. Stop trying to be who God didn't make you to be. And it has gotten so bad that we are altering our very appearance. Nowadays, you don't know what's real and people in our body parts. It's like we're trying to just be somebody that we're not, that we don't even know ourselves. And how can you discover your purpose if you don't know who you are, and if you don't embrace who God has made you to be? So I just felt that I needed to add that there.
Well,
Be yourself.
it's
Be
definitely it's
yourself.
definitely important because again with this nowadays culture with social media with
Yes,
technology and different things like that everybody's focused on showing the best version of themselves. It may
yes.
not even be the truest version of themselves, but
No, it's
they're
not.
focused on putting out there this is
Yeah,
this is what I am, you know what I mean? And again, that's what this kind of what our show is about. Everybody has their own specific brand that they
yeah,
put out there to the world, but then that brand that you're putting out there may not actually be your true self and who you are. So
yeah,
shows like this is why we're asking these type of questions, and again, we're going behind the brand to get some information on some of the entrepreneurs like yourself. um, so I think we're going to move on to the next segment, which is the wheres. So I'm going to start it a little late, and I want to know, where was the last place you went on vacation?
Oh, I went to London.
Ontario or England?
London, England. Yes, I went to England in June. I went to England in June, and it was an experience because I was always told that London is wet, it's rainy, it's dreary, and I brought the clothes accordingly. But when we went in early June, it was hot. It rained. I think one morning we got up and it rained for like 15, for a couple minutes, and then it was hot, it was sunshine. I went to see Buckingham Palace. I went to see where they have the, like when they have the funerals and all of that. But unfortunately, the queen couldn't wait. She passed away before I came.
All right,
But
okay. So
that's one thing on my bucket list, and we were fortunate to take a trip over to a day trip to Paris.
To
So I went
Paris.
to see the Eiffel Tower, and I that's one of my things that I love to do. I love to travel. I love to travel. I want to travel the world. I want to go to Africa. I want to go to Asia. I want to go everywhere and just share and talk about Jesus.
Well, that's perfect. I was gonna ask where's the next place you want to go, but I know you want. It looks
So
like
the next place I
Africa,
want to go,
Asia,
I want to go to I would love to go to Italy.
Italy.
Yes, I want to go
I
to
was
Italy.
just, I think I was just speaking with somebody a couple of days ago, and they were telling me that they went to Italy, and they said the food is epic in Italy.
Yeah, I can imagine. That's my next trip next summer by the grace of God. God is a provider. You just speak it and He'll
You
make it
just speak it
happen.
and
So
it'll happen.
I'm decreeing it. I'm declaring. I'm going to Italy next year.
All right. Well, make sure you bring back a postcard and come back on the show and let us know
I
how your
will,
trip
man.
is.
Hey, we have to get outside our box. We cannot just go to the Caribbean. We have to go around the world. Go and know the world, right?
Well, Hillary, with that being said, right, you mentioned that you want to travel and you want to spread the word of God, right? So,
Mhm.
where do you see your business in terms of global reach or expansion?
Oh Lord. Hi, Jamal. Sometimes the things that the Lord, I have to say, I wonder if it's my imagination or the Lord just giving me a vision. I see Hillary encouraged just worldwide. He gave the word and the voice of encouragement to the nations. And I believe that that's where my business, my ministry, I don't want to call it business, I say ministry is gonna go. It's gonna go worldwide. I see it in Africa, I see it in Asia, I see it in Europe. I see myself traveling the world and just having seminars and just encouraging people to be who God has called them to be, to serve God, and just to be an ambassador in Christ and just to encourage people and just let them know that all hope is not gone. Yes, there's war. Yes, there's violence. There's, the world seems like it's just a horrible place, but there's still God. There's still hope. We don't have to live a life that like there's no hope. So for me, I see Hillary encouraging just doing the world, just everywhere you can think of. I believe that the Lord is gonna take me us. I want to say us because you can't do it by yourself. You need people. The Lord is gonna take us there.
Well, like you said, think positive and put your mind to
Hey,
it and you will definitely get there.
the Bible, it's biblical, and the Bible say you must decree a thing, and it shall be established for you.
All right, so since we're talking about, reaching that worldwide audience and getting your stuff out there, currently where can people find your products or services?
So I think I sent you that info. So currently my books are available on Amazon. They're available on Amazon.com, Amazon.ca. And you can also reach me. I sent you the info, right, Jamal?
Hmm. Yep.
If you could, do you have it available? The 647 number,
Hold on, let me pull
the
it up here.
banner. So the 647 number, forgive me.
Hold on, I'm gonna pull it up here right now. One second. But you go ahead and
Yes, and
speak while we're
I also have my own YouTube channel at Hillary Encourages, which Jamal, I'm asking your people to just go and subscribe and hit the notification button. So when you go to YouTube, just don't type in Hillary Encourages, put at, because if you type just Hillary, it's gonna bring up Hillary Clinton. So put at Hillary Encourages because 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 I'm not that massive yet. It brings up Hillary Clinton. Well, give me a couple months, man.
couple
So
months and we're gonna top
yes,
that.
until such time, just put in at the at sign Hillary Encourages, one word, and you'll see. And I'm asking you please to subscribe I also have my website, HillaryEncourages.com. But yes, that's it right there.
I don't mean to block your page there. Sorry.
HillaryEncourages.com. My website is a bit still under construction, but you can find information about me there. And the number that you just put up, can you put it up again, Jamal, please? So if you want to reach out to me and you want to get copies of my book locally, you can reach me at 647-972-2665. And I'm also asking you please to follow me on Instagram at HIL encourages. That's one word. I'm also on TikTok at Hill encourages, one word. And I'm also on Facebook at Hillary encourages. So I'm trying to be on all social media handle, and I'm just being honest here. I am just learning. The Lord put me out on Instagram to go and do Instagram live. Last week, was it this week I started? And I'm telling you, Jamal, I am loving it. I am loving it. I'm just loving it. I'm just loving it. So I'm just asking you, please, to follow me. Go to Hill Encourages Instagram, and also it's the same for TikTok. And go to Hillary Encourages, my YouTube channel, and subscribe. All my books are available on Amazon, and I'm asking you, please, if you go and you buy them, when, me not say if, when you go and you buy them, please leave a review. Because we all know we live in the world where reviews are everything, right?
Yeah, if that's the first thing everyone goes and checks. The reviews, the
Yes, we
reviews, the
look at the
reviews.
reviews. So Jamal, before I go, I just wanted to read out a word of encouragement from I'm encouraged, and just leave before I go.
All right. I have two more questions to ask, so I don't want you to go
Okay, go
just
ahead.
yet.
Sorry.
All
Go
right.
ahead.
So so I have a couple more questions actually. So we're
Okay,
gonna move to some of the wins.
okay.
Now, we heard about some of the times you felt like there was gonna be a failure. But when did you actually experience a significant setback, and how did you overcome it?
Oh wow.
So maybe it was getting some part of your book published, or writing, or promoting, or even just trying to make a decision.
For me, getting my first, and it wasn't even a setback when I started literally going out to sell my books. I remember, like, my first event I went to, I was just the first time I'm going out to in public as an author to sell my book, because even in that state, and it goes back to your mind, Jamal. You see, if you don't accept it in your head and believe who you are, or believe, as you say, believe in your brand. You must believe in your brand. Whatever it is that you're selling, you must believe in your brand. And when I went, the first time I went out, like out in the public at an event, and just trying to talk about my book, trying to promote my book, I didn't have that confidence in myself. I didn't have that confidence to believe that yes, I am actually an author, and these are my book. And I came back, and you didn't have the best sale, and I came back feeling like that wasn't the best. That wasn't the best. So when you go out and you don't get the sales that you expect, it can be a bit deflating.
Yes.
But what I've come to understand, Jamal, that anytime you go out, even if you sell one thing, one book, even if you interacted, you may not even have a sale. But the fact that I showed up, somebody life is going to be different because I showed up. So you may not go out and you may not have the biggest sales. And yes, we want to sell books and you want to sell your product. But we have to remember that sometimes your day, it's not always going to be like this. that it's not always going to be like that. And you must always find the good in everything. The Bible tells us that all things work together for good. So anywhere I go, I try my best now to network. And even if I sell 20 book or I sell one book, I consider it a success because I showed up. And because I showed up, it's even one person life has been made different. Somebody, I have the ability, God can use me to change somebody's life because I showed up. And because that one person bought my book and they're going to go home and read my book, their life is going to be impacted. So sometimes it's not about the numbers. You can't just be so focusing on the numbers. And even as you talk about that, about feeling setback, I remember when I started Hillary Encourages. And this just started my own YouTube channel. This just started this summer. And I remember when I went on, sometimes I have nobody watching. And I tell you, Jamal, that can play on your mind.
Yep.
You're watching because you have StreamYard, and StreamYard can tell you how many people are watching. Sometimes zero, zero people, persons are watching. But the Lord has renewed my mind that it doesn't matter. I am not doing it because I want the big, yes, you want the numbers and all of that, but what is the purpose behind it?
Sometimes it's even just a release for yourself because you get to
Yes,
release information and
exactly. And also, the person, what you're planting the seed for today, somebody's going to need it a month from down the road. I may do a topic called What is Stopping You? And I come on and I encourage you about what is stopping you. At the time when I'm recording, nobody's watching. But a month from now, Jamal might get up one day and say, you know what? Let me look up for a YouTube message about what is stopping you. Bam, bam, bam.
then there
Popped
you
up
go.
Hillary. You understand? So what's happened if we follow numbers, if we follow what people say, you will never do it. You have to love what you're doing and you have to believe in what you're doing. So if for me my ministry is encouragement. Do I get up every day and feel like I want to encourage people? No, not necessarily. But that's my mandate. That's my assignment. So regardless of whether I feel like I'm encouraging someone or I feel encouraged, I have to get up and do what God has called me to do. So you have a business. So you know, regardless of how you're feeling or whether they're selling, you gotta get up and show up and you have show up and just do what you're supposed to do and trust that God is gonna do what He's supposed to do. But sometimes we feel that we must not do anything and God is just going to drop things in our lap. No, it's a part of the journey. Some days you're going to have a big sale. Some days you're going to have a few sales. But that doesn't dictate you going forward. You just get up and you just do it. Just go out and you just do it. And love what you're doing. Enjoy what you're doing. And that's what I find myself. I enjoy it. So if I go on Instagram and nobody's watching, I am enjoying myself.
No, but like you said, it's having fun and it's doing it for that release
Yes,
and
you
for those
gotta
people
love
that
it.
might be
You gotta
tuning in
love it.
after.
Yes, and that's when I'm discovering that I love it. Yes, I would love to come on and see 10,000 people watching me. I'm not gonna lie. But if I come on and there's one, or there's two, or there's five, or there's zero, I am going to behave like there's 10,000 people watching. Because what I'm doing is for the love, because I love it and I'm doing it unto God.
All right. Well, thank you, Hillary. So we heard
Yeah,
about some of your inspirations. We heard about some of the
yeah,
setbacks that you had. We heard
yeah,
about the initial story that kind of brought you into this field. Now,
yeah.
what I want to know, and it's more for the people out there, is why should people be interested in your particular entrepreneurial journey for your business?
Ooh, that's a good one. Oh, God. Why should you be interested in Hillary Encourages? Because Hillary encourages is ordained by God. Hillary encourages where you can come and get a word of encouragement. It doesn't matter what your situation that you're going through. The Lord has a word for you. That is my ministry. This is what the Lord has called me to do. This is my purpose. I didn't even realize that this was a part of my purpose until the Lord Himself. I just thought that it came naturally for me to just encourage people. It was just something that I do. I didn't know that this was really my purpose. And when you know what your purpose is, you believe in it. So when you come and you hear Hillary speak, Hillary is not speaking from her own understanding. If I give out a word of encouragement, that is what the Lord wants me to say for that day. So when you come and you hear me speak, you are hearing what the Lord is saying at that time. So what I say is built on the word of God. And when you stand on the word of God, you will never fail. So there's hope. There's hope. Where Hillary encourages, when you come, you will feel you will get hope, a sense of hope. You will hear God. You will feel God. You will feel love. You will feel empowered. You will feel encouraged.
Well,
That's
one
it.
thing.
That's the best way I can put it, Jamal. I don't
No,
know.
well, I
That's the
think
best way I can
it
put it.
makes sense to me and it resonates because
Yeah,
like you said, your the name of your business is Hillary Encourages, and
yeah,
to me everything that you do reflects your business and it reflects your
yeah,
brand. You do live streams to help encourage people. Your books are there to encourage people, talking about your journey, talking about how to assist people. You send out messages every day encouraging people. So I definitely think those are good reasons for people to be encouraged in your particular journey, because not only are you just um passionate about it, but you're also living it, and you're actually, living it in real life, and you're showing the inspiration and things like that. So thank you for that information.
Jamal, can I share with them what we spoke about before we came on?
For sure.
Because one of the things I love about one of the instructions that the Lord gave me when I started, and I heard Him clear as there, He said, "Be yourself." And I shared with Jamal that Jamal inspired me. So when I got Jamal number, as you mentioned, I've been working with him in the Fantastic Book Fair. And when I started this summer to do, so what I do, let me just explain. So
Mhm.
I send out words of encouragement. I create these flyers, and I share a word of encouragement with the flyers. And I remembered when I just started doing it, I was a bit reserved about it because I'm like, God, I don't know if I wanna bombard people sending out these messages. And I remember I saw Jamal. Hey, listen, if you're in Jamal's anything that Jamal is having, Jamal is sending it. Morning, noon, and night, you're getting it. And I looked at that and I said, look at this. This young man is sending out his thing. It doesn't matter what it is. And here I am sending words of encouragement to encourage God's people, and I am being reserved. And this young man here, the Lord used him to help me to get over that. I said, listen to me, send it. Who don't want it? If they can delete it, or they can tell me don't send it. So you helped me in that regard to just forget, just do it, just send it. So I wanted to share that.
Well, thank you for telling that story, because
I
like
just
I like
wanted
I,
to
I
share
always
that.
tell
Yes,
people, if you don't promote your business, then nobody
yeah,
else will. um
yeah,
we all hate commercials, right? But
yes,
that don't stop McDonald's, Burger King, Nike, Reebok, No Frills. That
yeah,
don't stop any of them from paying and putting those commercials out there, right? So we got to think about that way. those big companies, those big brands, they're not really concerned about who doesn't want to see the commercial. They're only
Mhm.
concerned about the 10 times that you did see it, and now the 11th time you're in the
Yes,
line to the store,
yes, yes,
right? So
yes,
we got to focus on our business, we got to care about our business, and we got to care about our brand. um and I think I want to move on to the hows now. So,
yes.
Hillary, we know you're busy writing books. We know you're busy every morning at 7:30 sending out messages. We see you doing live streams. We see you at events. Hillary, how do you balance the work life commitments as an entrepreneur and as a writer?
Oh God, by the grace of God. And I go to school too, Jamal, you know.
Yes, you mentioned that as
Right
well.
now I have two assignments that I need to go send out. Um oh God, Jamal, it's I try. I'm still learning how to balance family and getting everything in order. Some days I get it good. Some days I'm just being honest. Some days I get it right. Some days I don't. Sometimes I focus on one area too much, and this is something that I'm learning how to balance. To know when okay, shut off from this and incorporate this. So that in that area, I am still learning, but by the grace of God, I'm still functioning. I'm a morning person. I'm up very early in the morning.
We see that.
I do my devotion, get what I need to done, my messages. Then I send it out, and then I have to do work and throughout the day. And I realized the other day I was saying to myself, I don't even watch TV. I
Trust me,
don't watch
sometimes there's no time.
TV. I don't watch TV. I try my best to make time for my husband and my children, but it really what I do, it has become a part of me, and I try to integrate Hillary encouraging in part of my everyday life with my family, with my husband and my children. And I really try to balance. As I say, sometimes I get it right, sometimes I don't. But thanks be to God, God is always there to direct me and to help me and trying to do school. And this is something I want to add out there. I have always wanted to get my degree, my business degree, and currently this is what I'm doing. And and I want to add, it goes back to people that you have in your life. And when I came to Canada at an early age, I came to Canada when I was 18 years old. And back then, not that I had bad people around me or anything, but you have to people around you sometimes. Some people they don't push you into your direction, your purpose as to what you want to do. And sometimes you just waste time doing things that not really adding to your life. And here I'm now at a certain age trying to catch up and doing everything. But I told myself that I will get my degree. I'm a couple years behind, but now I actually have a finish date in sight, and I'm working towards it. Sometimes it's challenging. I'm not gonna get up and tell you that hey, I love sitting in front of the computer and doing assignments after assignments, but I am determined that I am going to finish my degree. I'm gonna get my degree. I'm going to put on my hat and the gown and all of that wonderful thing and get it. So you have to be determined, and I go back again. Surround yourself with people who are able to encourage you, people are who are able to tell you the truth, people who are able to build you up and lift you up. And it's okay to get rid of negative people. Sometimes we just need to just delete some people out of our phone because the negativity can pull you down and the negativity can hold you back.
Definitely.
I wanted to add that. So, in terms of the balancing, I'm getting better at it. I'm getting better at it, but yeah, I still struggle in that area sometimes.
All right. Well, thank you for being honest and thank you for being candid with us.
Yeah.
So, one final question, and I think this is a fitting question. Um, how does Hillary encourages, or how do you give back to the community or society through your entrepreneurial success?
So one of the books that the Lord gave me to write is Jesus Saves. Jesus saves the free gifts of salvation. That's one of the book that the Lord gave me. Hillary saved the free gift of salvation. So when he gave me this book is I'm not supposed to sell it, but I can take a donation because it does take money to print the books. So this is one way of giving back. So this book is about Jesus. It speaks about the love of Jesus, it speaks about Jesus loving you. It speaks about how you can be saved when you become a Christian. How do you maintain being a Christian? So, growing up in Jamaica or in the Caribbean, they used to have these tracks. You remember, Jamal, you
Yeah,
would
yeah,
go and
yeah.
they did these tracks. So this is like a track with more information. So this is one of my ways that I give back. And there are times, Jamal, that the Lord will give me a directive just to give somebody a book. So for me, yes, you want to make money, but there are times when the Lord will just speak to me and say, "Okay, with this book." So these are just one or two ways that I try to give back. And when the Lord bless me and the money starts flowing and stuff, I'll do lots of events where people can just come and just be encouraged and be blessed without charging money.
Well, I love that. I love how you're giving back, and I do remember specifically at the book fair you were letting the massive know that you do have a book available for free, and that you wanted to make sure that everybody was adding to the social media to make sure that they can get access to this information and get access to everything that you're offering. So Hillary, I want to say number one, thank you for taking the time and sharing all of this personal information, sharing a little bit of the stories that inspired you, some of the challenges that you had along the way. So, last question is what's up next for Hillary Encourages?
Oh Lord.
Any events, or let them know about your live stream or your podcast. Let them know. Let the
Okay,
massive know
so
anything else you think they need to know.
I'm always looking for events like yours where we go and book fairs, speaking engagement, wherever the Lord directs me, that's where I'll show up. But for now, I am currently on Instagram. I started this week, as I said. My next live will be on Friday, which is Get Up and Go Fridays. On Hillary Encourages. On Wednesday I wasn't on. So okay, let's start over. So I'll be live on Instagram starting on Mondays. So Mondays is, oh geez, it just slipped me. Motivation Mondays on Instagram with Hillary. Wednesdays, it's Winning Wednesdays. And on Fridays, it's Get Up and Go Fridays on Instagram. And what I do, I try, because I know not everybody's on Instagram. So what I do, I try to also put a message on not Facebook, on YouTube, on YouTube. And so I'm always on YouTube, and I'm now going on Instagram. I haven't gone over the TikTok yet, so I'm trying to put videos and all of that. I'm just learning the whole social media aspect of Hillary Encourages the ministry, because we have to be real. You have to go with social media. And so that's where I'm at. So going out on Instagram, getting the word of God in there, encouraging people. So I'm asking you once again, kindly. And I also want to mention, even though I say that I'm struggling with the balancing, I go out of my way to make sure I spend time with my family, my husband, and my children, because family is first. There's God and there's family. So we make time for family. So, yes, I try my very best to make time for my husband and my children. And also, please, I'm asking you, Jamal, tell your folks to come and subscribe to Hillary Encourages on YouTube. There you go. 647-972-2665 if you would love to get a copy of my books. And I also have journals. I also want to mention my journals, Jamal. So these journals are just encouragement journals. One has scripture verses, the other one has just quotes, motivational quotes, and you're able to just write in them whatever you're inspired to write. You get a word of inspiration, you just make it in and turn it into your personal journal. And I just want to talk a little bit about my books then before I go. Am I allowed to do that, right? I'm not hearing you, Jamal. Okay. So I just want to talk about my first book, my as they would say, my baby, Hillary encouraged. I am encouraged. I am encouraged. This is a 90-day, 30-day devotional that gives you self affirmation where you speak to yourself and encourage yourself in the Lord with the word of God. And before I go, I wanted just to share one that was day number, oh Lord, day number 11. And I wanted to leave with this one day of encouragement. It's day 11. It says, push, press, fight. The scripture for that day is Isaiah 35, verse 4. So to say to those who are fearfully hearted, be strong, do not fear. Behold, your God will come with vengeance, with the recompense of God. He will come and save you. And the devotion is, so you're speaking to yourself. So this is what the devotion is about. You are speaking to yourself on a first person basis. And it says, why should I not push, press, and fight? O ye have little faith. God has granted me the power and the authority to rebuke winds and calm the storms in my life. I will stop allowing the storms of life to rob me of my peace that the Lord has given me. The Lord has given me perfect peace to sleep and to ride out my storm. Why am I distressed when I know that God will not allow me to perish? I will not drown in the seas of sorrows and despair. Rise up, O my soul, in the name of Jesus, and take my rightful place as a child of God. This is not the time for self pity. The storm was meant to strengthen me, empower me, and build my faith in God. Now is the time for me to elevate my faith to a higher dimension. My faith will fuel me to fight with confidence, knowing that I have already won. Failure and defeat is not an option. Let me say that again. Failure and defeat is not an option. The Lord created me for such a time as this. I have come too far. I will not back down and settle for less than God's best. I will push, press, and fight. This is my winning season. The Lord will make a way for me. The Lord will fight for me and vindicate me. I will not allow my heart to be troubled. Rather, I trust and believe that God will carry me. God is with me in the storm. He promised never to leave me nor forsake me. God keeps his promise. I will have no fear and remain resilient and steadfast in God. He will see me through. I am victorious in the name of Jesus.
Well, I just want to say thank you for that. Can you hold up the cover so people can see which book that came from?
Yes.
Because that was actually lovely. I love the inspiration. I love the
Yeah.
words. I love the way you thinking positive. Again, it's all about the positive affirmations.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I don't think there could have been any better quote to give to an entrepreneur or somebody that's looking to start their business. I think a quote like that would resonate across the board with everybody. So I definitely want to thank you for that. Again, I want to say big respect, big shout out for taking the time and sharing us all the behind the stories, giving us the behind the brand, giving us behind the back cover of Hillary Encourages, letting the massive know some of the inspiration, the motivations, the trials, the tribulations, and how you were able to overcome some of these with the inspiration from the Word of God and the way you're able to spread it out to the massive. So again, Hillary, I want to thank you for coming on the show, and
Thank you.
I definitely look forward to the message that I'm going to get tomorrow morning and the morning after. And again, people, make sure you tune into Hillary's networks. She has a YouTube page where she does interviews and speaks to um, entrepreneurs and individuals in the field as well. Make sure you check her out on Facebook. Make sure you check her out on TikTok soon. She's building it up, and definitely make sure you check her out on Instagram and check out the live feed that she does. So again, Hillary, thank you very much.
Jamal, one quick thing before. So I have a program called Please Allow Me to Encourage You from my book. So if you're an author, so what I do, I invite authors to come on the program and I allow them to encourage people from the pages of their book. So if you're an author and you would love to be on my program, it's streamed every Monday at 8 o'clock Canada time, US Canada time. So if you would love, I would love to have authors come on and just share. And it gives you an opportunity to also share about your book and promote your book.
Definitely. So we'll definitely put that word out. I've already seen some of the authors in the EPG network on the show promoting themselves and doing the interviews. So we'll definitely keep that word active, and we'll work to get some more authors on the show. So again, Hillary, I want to thank you for joining us, and look forward to having you back on the show. Make sure when you get to Italy, you let us know all the good spots to go,
Yes.
and again, thank you very much. Have yourself a great evening. All right, people. So we just spoke with Hillary Dunkley Campbell from Hillary Encourages. We got to go behind the brand and hear some of the inspirational stories about what made her start her journey, what gives her the inspiration, the motivation, and some of the trials and tribulations. So I want to give Hillary a big shout out, and make sure you tune into her networks to see where she's going to be next and to see what she has coming up. Again, before we get into the next guest, I just want to remind y'all that if you are a business or a brand or an entrepreneur and you're tuned into the show, make sure you post something in the comments, post something in the chat so we can give you a shout out. I want to shout out Big Rich Consulting. I want to shout out The Food God. I want to shout out Mr. Working Hours, Moet Entertainment, Foresight Video, Marge Delights, Crazy Jack Country, Jada Truck and Empire, Jay Matic, Black Star Shine, Glamour for Less, Royal Family, Fabe Mystic. We got lots of viewers today, so I want to shout out everybody for tuning in. Make sure you remember it's all about the holiday pop up marketplace Saturday, November 11th, November 12th, and December 10th. Now, when we're talking about pop ups and we're talking about entrepreneurs, there's no entrepreneur out there that is more got that hustle attitude, got that motivational attitude than our next guest. So I think we're going to bring her in right now, and let's just make sure we got everything up and running. We are going to be speaking with Miss
Make sure
Dr.
we got everything up
Patsy.
and
Dr.
running.
Patsy, are you
We
there?
are going to be speaking with
Yes, there.
Miss
All right, Dr.
Patrick.
Patsy, can you
Everything.
put the other device on mute so we don't hear the feedback while you're speaking?
Yes.
So first, I want to say thank you for coming on the show. It's a pleasure having you. Oh, let's bring her back in here. Sorry about that, folks. So I want to thank you for coming on the show. I want to thank you for taking the time. We're in a little bit of overtime, but that's how it goes here on EPG Biz Talk. Sometimes when you're
Right.
going behind the brand, We really got to
Yes.
go behind the brand. So, Dr. Patsy, you are
Yes, sir.
active in the EPG network. Everybody sees you out there. You're at the different events. You're promoting on social media. And
Yes.
one thing I love about Dr. Patsy is when she's at the events, she's never just sitting at the events. She's out there mingling, she's networking, she's letting people know about the products. And when it comes down to the winding down hours of the events, Dr. Patsy makes sure she grabs her basket, she walks around the building to the different entrepreneurs to make sure that everybody's aware of who's there and what products she have. So, Dr. Patsy, thank you for coming on the show. And how are you this evening?
Well, not bad, I'm here, trotting,
All right.
living.
Tried in, tried in. All right. So as you know,
That's some
Dr.
praises.
Patsy, every Wednesday we like to take it a step behind the brand, behind the label, behind the product packaging, and get to know a little bit more about some of the entrepreneurs in the city like yourself. So I think we should start at the beginning. We're gonna, we go through the who's, the what's, the where's, the when's, the why's, and the how's. And I think we should start at the beginning. Tell the massive, who is Dr. Patsy?
Well, greetings, everyone. All praises to the Most High. I am Dr. Patsy, and I've been starting this this herbal business for the past over 10 years. So I started out back in Hamilton, Ontario, and this was years ago, over 10 years ago. And I just started, I said I was doing recreational leisure program. And before that, I was not well. And I started to get into more of the herbs and everything like that. And then the herbs start to heal my body because I really, as I said, we'll go later on into the book thing coming from dead stores. But anyways, the herbs is what helped me to bring me back around. At that time, I was really in the Rastafarian community and culture and everything like that. Still give praises for them. Um, and I used to go around to different parks and places like that to sell my products, to sell my herbs and everything, herbs from Jamaica and so forth. And then I start to go into take courses at the Institute of Traditional Medicine as a clinical herbalist. So I did courses as a clinical herbalist practitioner and so forth over the years. Um, and that's how I start to, I registered my business and everything and went on and did what I had to do and everything. So really and truly, as a clinical herbalist, we're first people that can do things just like almost like a naturopathic. I won't say medical doctor because we're not allowed to say that. Um, we only can suggest things or recommend stuff. We cannot prescribe or say we can heal you or whatever the case may be. But that's what we can do is just to assist you in your alternative medicine of healing your body and so forth and taking care of yourselves. Um, and that's how I started out. And everybody to this day, people still stop me everywhere and said, I remember you from the park and how you used to walk around and sell your herbs. And I said, well, praise God, I'm here now. And you still haven't got a storefront yet, but eventually. And it has grown a whole lot because when I first started out being a herbalist, everybody's like, oh, what's that? You're never going to reach nowhere. And da 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 da. Even the teacher said you can't get rich off of it. But I was like, yeah. Now, herbs in today's world is like a fashion trend, fashion. And everybody wants herbs right now to help with certain illness, certain conditions that they may have. Because simply we don't want to get into the pharmaceuticals, but that's another story. That's the issue. That's the reason why they're going into alternative medicine. So that's me behind the Dr. Patsy, and I got my name off of the streets. And most of it is mostly the men them, the man them is the one that that motivated me and actually gave me that name, doctor, for intelligence, for knowledge of the herbs. And I just run with it. And that's it. And everybody know me as Patsy all over the world. All over the world, yes. All over the city, Toronto. So that's who I am. Okay. Oh,
So that's
you're
who
Jamaican.
you are. And now you mentioned that you used to hang around in the Rastafari community. So
Yes.
who is there anybody specific that inspired you, or who inspired you? You hear me? Okay, you're back.
E-
So who inspired you to become an entrepreneur?
Um, there is a Ross named Ross Kyoko. There's Ross named Ross Freighter. And those are the two that inspired me. And also, again, myself, because it's the herbs that actually helped me, and I got that in. And there was a Ross in Jamaica named Canuck. I hope this video is downloaded good because they're chipping it out. But Kanaka, rest in peace. And he was mostly the one that really pushed me to get to where I am today. And he's the one that taught me and mentored me on herbs. Besides me going to school, I learned about herbs from also some of the Africans, and also from, and again, from the Rastas and from others herbalists out there, master herbalists. I even Dr. Sebi, when he came to Toronto back in 2011, that's when I get to meet him, and he actually inspired me in that way also. So I have really journeyed from those 10 years till now, when you're in 23. So I started in back in as far as 2011, when I was really ill and so forth. So that's where the inspirations. And then my mother, again, rest in peace to her. She was always my supporter by going home and getting my herbs and stuff like that. But yeah,
So
those were people.
you actually got to meet Dr. Sebi when he came down here?
Yes,
Man,
yes, that was yes.
that must have been nice. That must have been nice.
I didn't even that time I didn't even have a cheap piece of phone. I couldn't even take pictures, but it was a big crowd of us there. You know, yeah, you see
All
it. So
right.
it was I think it was Light to Life Ministry Church or something. Hmm.
Okay, so and maybe it might be a similar answer, but who are some of your role models in your field, or in your business?
Role models? You mean as in like that is already up there right now?
Well, it doesn't have to be anybody famous. It could be a family, it could be a friend, it could be a superstar. It's whoever Dr. Patsy's role models are.
Let's see. Well, you're one of them. Because you just
Thank
keep
you.
on going, going, going. Um, who else? So a few of the artists out there, the local, some of the artists that I have met over the time being, and are my role models, and DJ Wiz always keep on telling me to keep on pushing, da 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 da. Um, and honestly, it's just a good number of you all, but
All
it's just me. It just everything is just embedded in me, and I just came out to be like this. Jack Flawless, don't forget Jack Flawless. He inspired me because he's the one that actually took me out of my shell.
out of your shell, out of your comfort zone. Well, I love that. I love that a lot of the inspiration and the role models are people that we all have access to, people that are local, people
Yeah,
that are
these are
in the
all
industry.
community. Right.
Because sometimes
Yes.
the realest motivation can come from the people close to you. So I definitely want to give you a big shout out with that. Um,
Yes.
so I know you deal with a lot of herbal products and health products. Who are your target customers, and what do you understand about their needs and the different preferences that they have?
All right. So again, dating back is mostly the men were my biggest supporters. And yes, don't forget. Yes, they were my role models. You guys are my role models, and um, I was doing trucking for years. I've been driving trucks and buses for about 15 years on my side, as besides doing herbal teas. And what I find is that we all start to get drained out. So I said, you know what? Maybe you should just start doing a tonic. The other herbalists, is elder herbalists, as I mentioned before, Dr. Ross's had used to, um, what's it called? Teach me, or is give me herbs and tonics to sell for them, and whatever the case would be. That was back in the past. And no one has not really told me the ingredients or whatever the case would be, because that time I was really kind of not here. um, but I start to teach myself, and then I start to what's it called, self-taught, go to school and start to put the formulas together. And it just came to me one day just to put all.
All right, looks like there's a
And
problem with the connection, but it looks like Dr. Patsy's back here. All right, so yeah, go ahead.
yes, start to, oh, so it's really the stream lab. It's just those people. Okay. Because I'm on the regular thing here. So I start to put them together and everything like that. And I said that this is what we need energy for. So I more cater to the men that needed energy, because every one of us, me as a woman, I was really tired and weak being on the roads, 15 hours on the road, doing overnights. Everything was really draining. So I had my own woman tonics that I had to use. And also my other herbalist has helped me out with my own woman tonics and so forth. Um, and then I said, it just dropped in my spirit of what, or long list of herbs to put together for the men them. And then it started from there. And it's going on about 2 to 3 years since now. It has really risen, has really increased, um, of helping majority of the men. And most of the men I mostly targeted were, they go as young as in their 20s, early 20s, and where they start to have low energy in their body, not for only sexuality, but for working and so forth. And right now, I have constant customers that keep on coming for the Pacific Men Tonic, because it helps with their immune system, their liver, their kidneys, their prostate. It's just like a tonic is basically for building you up. It's a vitamin, right? But it's in a liquid form, because from the herbs, there are vitamins and minerals that come from the herbs. It's not just herbs alone. There's benefits and there's properties. There's volatile oils in there. There's certain herbs, and so certain out to compound the herbs and combine certain herbs for it to make it potent, strong, meaning strong, for others to use it.
All right, thank you.
So that's who I target.
Okay, so we
Mostly
know,
men.
like I know from going to the different events that you have the men tonic, and I know that's a very popular product. So you mentioned
You know
that
already.
you mentioned that it helps with energy. Um,
Yes.
but moving actually before we move on to the what's, I want to ask you another who, because I know
We're on the
you're,
Instagram, right?
yeah, it's on Instagram as well.
Okay, good, good, good. All right,
So
because I'm
I
not
know
getting
you
nothing over here.
I know you listen to music. I know you go to different events. Who is
Yes.
Dr. Patsy's favorite musician or favorite artist?
Oh, in the communities here.
No, well, it could be local, it could be international. Who is your favorite artist? Who, after the show, if you're gonna go put on a music or pop in a CD or an MP3, who's the artist that you're putting on?
Well, internationally is Lauren Hill. Reggae artists
Okay.
is, yes, and I'm actually this is my second time going to be seeing her tomorrow. Anyway, um, the artists is locally are J Star. J Star is one of them. Um, who else? There's numerous of them. Yeah, J Star. There's what's it called? Hummingbird. Um, other artists that there's numerous of them. Oh, Isis. Isis.
Oh yes, yes.
Isis I
Isis
find
does a
is
lot of great
realist.
things in this city.
Yeah, because he seems to be one of the realists. And there's another few rappers out there like Young Sammy, Valtino. These are the artists that I have met over the time, doing my herbs and shops and so forth, and with you too and everything. The DJs now are, of course, blacks. Just blasted. Anyway, Chippy Dunn, Roach, that guy, and those are the DJs and the artists, the MCs, DJ Wiz. A lot of them have really encouraged me so far. Whether they mean it from their heart or not, but um, motivated me and encouraged me to reach this far as a female herbalist. So I will say most of them are men. Female artist is Lauren Hill. Um, and the Rastafarians are, of course, Babanaki. Steel Pulse, the old time artists are Burning
All
Spear
right, all
culture
right.
because that's what I grew up on.
That's what you grew up listening to. Yes, yes.
Yes,
All right.
because when I
So
was in grade 9, people were like, "What are you listening to?" I'm like, "Ska,
some
ska," and most of
foundation
my
vibes.
time. Yes, I used to listen to a lot of Rastafarian music and everything. Oh yeah, I was heavy on it, and I was really a vegetarian and a vegan too, and everything, alkaline body, everything. Yeah, yeah, long
All
locks
right,
to the
all right.
body.
All right, all right. Well, let's get back to business and let's move on to the what's. So you mentioned,
Yes,
like you said, you mentioned you deal with a lot of herbal products, and your main target audience is the men, dealing with
yes,
lack of energy and things like that. But I also
right.
know from seeing you at different events that you do have other products for men. You do have other products for the women as well. So what are some of these products, and what problems or needs do they solve?
All right. So I have the respiratory herbs. Respiratory herbs. I find a lot of artists buy them from me. Um, helping with their vocal cords, and especially if they're smokers, it helps with their lungs. Ribadon is one of them. The next artist, I don't remember her name, but a lot of them have purchased um, these respiratory herbs to help with their lungs and vocal
The lung.
cords, and it helped. And some of them has also helped. Oh yeah, even chosen one. What's his name? Lando, and it helps with their lungs, and even also if they have a cold immune system and so forth. So that's one. Respiratory herbs is one. The next one is liver. Now, liver is major in our body. Without our liver, we're dead. Okay, simple as that. Liver herbs is what is mostly good for our immune system, our mood, our mental health, our metabolism, um, even for kidneys, pancreas, the list goes on. Now, for fatty liver, a lot of us have fatty liver. I don't care how skinny you are, or how fat you. Why is this thing? What? Um, obesity, and even liver is the problem. If your liver is over fat and fatty liver, these are the problems it causes: digestive problems, diabetes, autoimmune disease.
All right, folks, we're just going to give Dr. Patsy a couple seconds to load back in here. But if you just joined us right now, we're speaking with Dr. Patsy of the Naturalist Clinic, an avid entrepreneur who's out there at different events promoting her services, doing what she does to help the next healthy generation out there. So we heard about some of the backstory, some of her inspiration, how she started the business, who gives her motivation. We also got to hear about some of her role models in the locally and internationally. So I want to give her a big respect for being candid about that. We're just going to give it a couple minutes for her to load back in. In the meantime, I just want to let y'all know about some upcoming events that we have coming up. We do have the fifth annual Durham Region Holiday Marketplace taking place at Ajax Community Center on Saturday, November the 11th, Sunday, November the 12th, and we have the third day taking place on Sunday, December 10th. Admission is free, it's all ages, and we have over 30 vendors on each day out there providing their goods that they've prepared for you. Some of these are handcrafted goods, some of these are personal created goods, and some of these are goods that are great for the season. So if you're looking for that holiday gift, if you're looking for that stocking stuffer, if you're looking for a, something for yourself just to get through the next couple weeks, make sure you come check out the fifth annual Durham Regional Holiday Marketplace happening this November and this December. And we do have Dr. Patsy back in the building. So welcome back. Dr.
It's
Patsy,
working
quick
again?
question. So are you
Yes,
on
sir.
like your home Wi-Fi or are you on your phone data? Just trying to pinpoint as to
On the
why
phone
it's cutting
data.
on the phone data. And
Yeah, I'm gonna add it.
um are you in like
But it's
a
happening the same thing. Mm?
and you're in like a good, are you close to a window or anything like that? Maybe it could be the location where you are. Do you think that could be causing it? You're in a
Yeah, I'm,
good
I'm
part of the
close to
house
the
with good
window.
signal? Okay, well yeah, that should be okay.
Maybe we can't even go closer because back the background.
Oh, okay. All right. No worries. We'll work with it. No problem at all. So
You
quick
don't have it.
question,
You won't
Dr.
get it
Pat,
saved. Uh huh.
because you told us about some of the inspiration, some of the motivation,
Yes.
and you told us about some of the products you have and some of the
Yeah, I was
needs
talking
that
about
they
the
solve.
liver.
So
Yes.
did you wanna continue about some of the needs, the problems that they solve?
Yeah, yeah. So the liver is
Not sure why this is freezing here. 1 second, folks. Let me just refresh this.
hello.
All right. And Dr. Patsy is back. So we heard about the respiratory, we heard about the liver. Um, what other products do you have, and what are those products good for?
The other ones is body baptizer, and body baptizer is the man them named that actually. That helps with penis soak. So it's a traditional thing. Okay, yoni steam and penis wash genitals are all traditional. These things are from Asian times. Um, Penis wash now or body baptizer, it helps to help with stamina, circulation, and it helps with inflammation. So any type of irritation, if he has a partner and she has like a certain yeast infection or whatever the case may be, it helps with that issue.
So say the name slower. I want to make sure everybody catches this name. So what's the name of that product?
Body baptizer,
So she has the Buddy Baptizer for the
yes,
man
body,
them.
yes,
So if you guys are looking for that fresh start, you guys are looking for that cleansing attitude, make sure you check out Dr. Patsy, and she has the Buddy Baptizer. So I know you mentioned you have the yoni steam, you have the liver cleanse, you have the respiratory. Are there
yes.
any other popular products that you have out there that you want to let the masses know about?
So far I have peppermint tea. So I have other loose leaf teas, such as guinea hen. There's peppermint again. Sour sap leaves, which is guaviola, and that is good for cancers and blood pressure problems, kidneys. Adrenals, digestion herbs, powder. It help with digestion. I actually have one client, or actually a few of them, that said it helps with their digestion, and oxygen. I have a I have a long list of clients that keep coming back for certain for the herbal products, and some of them I don't even remember. Sorry for my supporters and my fans, but they
But it's
said that
all
the
good.
herbs have
That's how you know you're doing something right, because you have these repeat customers. Even when
yes,
I even when I'm doing my events, there's times people will call me, say, is Dr. Patsy there? Is the girl with the tonic gonna be there? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
definitely know that people are out there looking for your product. So I want to shout you out for that and being resilient with your
Yes.
promotions and your
Every time I
marketing.
come to your shop, I mean, before I can even start unloading, people is crowding me. And you remember every time. And I'm like, can I like just get the bottles on the table first, please? You know what I'm saying?
Well,
So
again, that's
I'm
how you know you're
really,
doing something. That's how you know you're doing
yeah,
something that is good and you're fulfilling the needs of people out there. So,
yeah,
Dr.
man.
Patsy, I
Yes,
know you're out there heavy. You're out there at the events. Even if it's not a
yes,
pop up shop, you might be at the club with your products, making sure you get
yes,
sales.
yes.
Now,
With the
it
cards.
may not. It, I assume it wasn't always like this. So, what are
No.
some challenges that you faced when starting your business?
It was really slow, and I have to be investing in it with my own money, such as working, my savings, and invest in it. I don't know about this grants and this, this whole bag of, I just couldn't wait on those things. You know what I'm saying? So I had to be, again, even when be and coming from the streets, I learned to re up. So the money we hustle, we flip it and make it and buy new fresh things. So that's how I learn. So yes, again, that's why I said that the men are always my inspirations because they're hustlers, and I learned that from them. And don't forget my mama too. But yeah, that's what it is. Using my own money, my own savings, and so forth because I can't wait on this grant business and all of this nonsense. You know what I'm saying? So
Yep,
that's what.
it is a process. So sometimes you can't really
Yes.
just hold up your business or hold up what you need to get done, waiting
And
for
that
the funds
sometimes we
and the
so slow
process.
to prepare certain things like you already know me and it. I remember saying you is Empro is the one that does my labels. Everybody, he's the one that does my labels and my cards. Okay, so yeah, so you know the struggle I may go through.
All right, so we know you said some of the challenges were the funding, the initial funding. Were
Yes,
there
and
any other
slow.
challenges or business was slow? So how did you overcome these challenges, whether it be the funding or
Honestly,
the slow business?
all right. You see, after my mom passed away in 2020, because I used to go around to the other shops too, but it was no promotions, no nothing, and years ago. But when I started with you and also Sweets Company, your guys were the ones were promoting we as vendors. And I really give thanks to you all for doing so. And word of mouth. And some of the times people come to me and say, oh, can I use you as a vendor and so forth. So going around, most thing was you guys as a pop-up and also my cards. I number one start having the cards and start having a little website. First, it was an informative website, and then I upgraded to Squarespace and so forth to make it commerce. Um, a website and so forth. So it was the cards and me going around selling my stuff and everything. I started from the way say from the bottom up. All right, from the
Well,
parks.
Well, I love what you just mentioned there because it kind of segues into my next question, which is
Yes.
what are some innovations what are some innovations in technologies that have been crucial to the success of your business? So you mentioned as soon as you got your business cards, you started handing them out. You're always reing up. You mentioned getting your website. So how do you find like what did these things do to your business and is there any other innovations in technologies that you're looking forward to?
Honestly, what other things had helped me so far?
Yeah,
I
in terms of
rebranded.
technology, because you said you started in 2011,
Yes.
and we know technology is quickly advancing. So,
Yes.
yeah, like tell me some of those.
The struggles back then comparing to now, I used to had to go to the print shop at this Firestone place down at Dufferin, and I used to have to print my name. I used to call it Naturalist Clinic, and I had to used to write in hand the name of the herbs. That has changed. My logo is different thanks to Jack Flawless and Kay Williams that rebranded this. And it was actually
Okay.
an ex printer guy named what's his, I can't remember his name, but he's the one make this banner for me. And that's how things started to go more for me. Instagram was the next technology. Um Social media, big
Yep.
social media. And the most of my um traffic of people is Instagram. Instagram was the thing. And then afterwards, then everybody's like, "Oh, get into YouTube," and I'm like, "No, I don't want to." And then afterwards, it started to grow from there. And actually, when I start to rebrand this, that's when my thing has tripled. My traffic of work has tripled,
Okay, so
including
it was the branding, the different things like that
and
that made a big
networking.
difference.
Yes, and networking and speaking, telling them more of more, because even Jack and Jack Files, with their brother and sister, and Kay Williams, their brother and sister, they were like, "What are you holding on to this so much information?" You know what I'm saying? And then there was the next one named Ackright, but um, it's just the knowledge I had, and I just kept it. I was always shy. I was always like locked in a dungeon. So
Well,
I
you know
just
what?
started to slowly write stuff
Well,
down.
I think what you're mentioning is something that's natural, and I think a lot of entrepreneurs would realize that as well. Yes, we may have information. We sit out there and we think that people may not want to hear what we have to say, but as you testified to, when you started sharing your knowledge with the people out there, when you started sharing your knowledge with the customers, when you started printing your banners and your cards with some of the services that you do, you were able to see the difference because you were not only just providing a product or a service, but you're now informing people on
Yes,
information
and
that they
they're
may
the
not
ones
have
who are
known.
pushing me to go further and put this. Why don't you do this? Why don't you do a flyer? Why don't you do this and this and that? And and that's how I got. I mean, I made it from all based on you guys, all of you all, and I give thanks for all of you community workers that have really pushed me this far, and my customers, fans, supporters, everyone, because I was just locked away.
Well, respect for that, but I just want to also mention that that it's not just us, it's people like yourself who take that inspiration and that motivation and
And run
actually
with it.
put the work in, because some
Yes,
people can say thank you for telling me this, thank you for telling me that, but
yes,
it's actually when you start putting in the work and applying that knowledge where, as you can see, that you will definitely see the difference.
yes,
So, Dr.
yes.
Patsy, let me ask you this: since we're still on the what's, what are some pivotal milestones or achievements, big or small, that you've had on your entrepreneurial journey?
What some achievements I had.
Or pivotal milestones or achievements to yourself? Like I said, it doesn't have to be something outlandish or big. It could be a small milestone, a hurdle that you got over.
Yeah, so I'm not just only a herbalist. My background is also minister, um, music. So far, I have two little musics. I have two songs out there so far.
All right.
Um, and I have one of my books. I wrote a book on Amazon there, and those I find those three were my documentary, and also through all the motivations and everything, I had started to do my webinars online, um, such as doing it was called Herbal Lab. I have it called it as Herbal Lab, where people can come and learn about the different type of diseases and so forth. Um, and that comes every so often. That just comes like every once a 6 months, or I'm going to try to um, boost it up to make it be every month at least. Um, Doing live streams, and as a previous guest you had was saying that it can be very lonely when you're the only one on your live stream and nobody's there. Yeah, it can be very, can get me ticked off. But anyways, um, those are the multitask or multi talents I have is music.
Music, you wrote a book,
I wrote a
you're
book,
formulating these
and
different products.
yes, and just being an entrepreneur that I am. My other lives that I do work is personal support worker, school bus driver, trucker, and right now my body's tired.
Well,
So I'm really all over the place. I will say I'm a real hustler.
all right, well, Dr. Patsy, like I said, I definitely can attest to the fact that you're a hustler, you're out there, and as you just mentioned, you're into so many different things. Not
Yeah.
only are you a healthcare worker, you are
Yes.
an herbal clinical practitioner,
Yeah.
you are a singer, you're an author. So,
Yeah.
Dr. Patsy, where do you source your inspiration and ideas from?
When I hold my meds. When I hold my meds, when I sit back and look back at all my life of what I've been through, I could have been dead. I keep telling everybody that and they don't believe me. And looking at back at just where how I grew up and everything, you already know, not having family there to support me like that. Everything was just based on my life, real life experiences, reality. And everything was just embedded in me. Of course, I'm a godly woman, as you see. Um, and dealing with the Most High, who made the heavens and the earth. That's just what it just embedded in me. I can't make this up.
No, well,
I can't make this up.
I definitely would agree with that and attest that. A couple weeks ago, I was at an event and somebody mentioned to me that the best way to be successful as an entrepreneur is to, number one, be true to yourself and your values, and also to find something that you're good at and then nurture it to the best of your ability. So you know what I mean? As a singer, as a writer, as an author, and as a healthcare provider, I would definitely say that all those work together, and they do fit your whole profile. You know what I mean? You're out there helping people with physical products. You're helping people as your job as a healthcare provider. You're providing words of inspiration as a singer and an author. So I definitely want to again give you a shout out to that, um, because we see that you're not just talking the talk, you're actually walking the walk with your business. So big up yourself on that. um, just to throw it off a little bit off of the business tip,
Yeah.
where was the last place you went on vacation? Now I know I seen you posting some beach pictures the other day. So where was the last place Dr. Patsy went on vacation?
All right. So I went to Cuba for the very first time, and that's where my grandparents are from. I'm
Oh,
Cuban and Jamaican, and I went there for a week. My first time. Cuba food is not so the greatest, but we get stung by the what is what's it called? The jellyfish.
you got stung by a jellyfish?
Yes, jellyfish stung
Oh
me
my God.
by a foot, and their water is
Did it
shallow.
hurt?
Yeah, I just felt a sting on my foot. I'm like, okay, something's burning me, and I moved.
So did you, like, was it attached to your foot? Like, did you see it?
No, I didn't see it.
Because I know some
Because
of these jellyfish will, like, you
they're
know.
clear. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They're clear, and I just felt something burning me. I'm like, okay, you know what? I need to move my foot. So, I believe it was a jellyfish because they're clear. I can't see them. So, it was beautiful. It was beautiful because the beaches there in Cuba is shallow. What I find that is, it looked like it was a desert land area. I went to Grand Memories, and yeah, I spent a week there,
Spend
and
a
it was
week,
it
all
was
right.
yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing. The beach is amazing, not the food. Everybody complains about the food. but they
Yeah, I know.
you
I've
can
been to
get that.
Cuba. Yeah, the food is not the best over there, definitely.
Yeah, yeah, yes, eat. And then earlier in the year, back in January, I went to Ocho Rios. My first time going to Ocho Rios.
Okay.
It
Yeah, I
was
think I've
nice.
been there.
Real,
Been there as well.
yes. So I
So
wanna travel. Spread my wings more.
so with that being said, where's the next place you want to go? If you were offered a free plane ticket to go anywhere in the world, where would Dr. Patsy go next?
Ghana,
And why? Ghana?
Ghana.
And is there a reason why?
Yes, I feel like my ancestors is from Ghana. Me can't get along with Nigerians. Sorry to say that, but me can't get along with Ghanaian people. But I honestly believe that my ancestors are from Ghana.
Well,
I really big up coffee out on the culture power out there and Frosty and them
oh
man
yes,
there.
Culture Power. He's a great guy. I've
Oh
spoken with
yes,
him a
he's
couple
big on
different
that.
times.
Oh yeah, he's my next motivator. Forgot about him. Oh my Jesus, it's too much of them man. Too much of Uno. Lord. Yeah. So yeah, I would like to go to Ghana, and then the next thing, well, other she was saying Italy. I was thinking about Italy. I honestly,
Italy too, eh?
Italy was my wedding type of
That's where you
wish.
want to go. That's where you want to go tie the knot and make it
Yeah,
official. I
yeah,
love
see,
it.
honeymoon. I see, yeah, something like that.
All right, so Dr. Patsy, so we know about the different roots. We know you make all the different teas and different things like
Yes,
that.
yeah.
Where do you get all these various ingredients? Because I've seen you with a roots bottle with it looks like different sticks and barks and different things in it. You sell the loose leaf teas. You don't have to give us, the specifics, but because we don't want to release the secrets. But where do you get these items from? Are they local? Are they international?
All right. So no, most of the herbs that is in the tonic are from Jamaica. They're from Jamaica, and I actually go down there and get them myself. Um, some other herbs, such as peppermint and so forth, those are Western herbs, European herbs. Those are mostly grown everywhere. Um, the spices and so forth, they're local. That's local. Um, some of them I get from the Caribbean also, such as cinnamon, barks, bitters. I get from Jamaica, but most of my sources are from Jamaica. I have a couple of stuff that I get from St. Lucia and what's it called? Yeah, mostly St. Lucia. Even the sea moss from St. Lucia. Um, but most of the herbs are from Jamaica because everybody asks me that too. But then, and I'm like saying it's from Jamaica. Some of the herbs, as again, are from local areas, but they will say that it's from Europe. Some like Croatia.
Oh, okay. Yes,
What?
yes, yes.
Yeah, what's it called? Russia, them place there because especially those are the mullein is grown in those areas. Certain herbs
Oh,
can't
because
grow
certain herbs grow specifically better in certain places, so you might have to get
Yes,
something from here, something from there, in order to make a specific blend.
yes, that's exactly how it goes because some herbs can grow in certain climates. That's why when winter time here, some herbs are alive and some herbs are dead. The majority of them are dead during the winter. That's why we have to harvest. Know when to harvest, the moon cycles. We gotta know all of that of knowing how to weep and sow
All
and
right,
so
all
on.
right. Okay, so to continue with the wares, where do you see the growth of Dr. Patsy and the Naturalist Clinic? Where do you see the most growth for your business?
My
So
most
just
grown.
before you go there, we have a comment from somebody in the on the YouTube. Shout out to Jay Agobs for tuning in. He mentioned that Ghana is definitely a great choice. Lots of peaceful and loving people.
Okay, all right.
And he also says the secret to visiting Cuba is to go with hot sauce. And you know what? You know what the funny thing is, Dr. Patsy? When I
Yeah,
went to Cuba, somebody told me the exact same thing.
yeah,
They said make sure you bring hot sauce and
ketchup.
soy sauce. So he definitely has some good advice there. Okay, so sorry, going back to the question, where do you
Yes.
see the growth of your business or the naturalist clinic or your products? Where do you see the growth of Dr. Patsy?
In a demographic way. Um,
Either demographic or product wise or anything that you feel anywhere you see growth in your business.
the growth I see in the mostly of the business is those three products: Mentonic, liver, and respiratory. Because other cultures and other nationalities has bought the liver, and they said the liver has helped them. Um, women products is not so much because the women I find that they're very skeptical, and it's only a some of them that will come to me and actually got pregnant from
Oh.
the herbs that I did. Yeah, dating way back in what's it called, in 2014, 20, those times, getting people, I'm getting a woman pregnant out here and they're getting pissed at me. But I can't help that because the herbs is there to is to make you fertile. Certain herbs actually makes aborts the child. So you got to know
Oh.
when to take it. You know what I'm saying? Um, and the herbs that and especially if women, as I have a next client actually, she has um I didn't even remember serving her, and she keep coming back for about 2 to 3 times because she's trying to conceive, and it actually raises her hormones to conceive, right? Um, woman stuff is more on a request for me because I more have to know the specific of their conditions such as
Oh, you
fibroids and
kind of have to
cystic
know,
and all that.
and then you would kind of formulate
Yes,
something specific.
right. Because it's not
Okay.
all the time they can take standardized herbs because some will make them bleed more and some will make them not bleed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is it. But those are the three herbs that will products I see growth in. And liver is more of like that can be more national for me because other nationalities will buy it. Indians will buy it. Um,
Okay.
the
Yes.
other white folks will buy it and stuff like that. And then of course the blacks will buy it. But I find that the other nationalities more buy the liver herbs from me. The men
Well,
tonic is more for the black men. Sorry to say, but that's what it is. The other nationality don't really buy black men tonic from me. They
yeah.
more buy
So,
the respiratory and the liver.
from being out there and widening your network, you've seen not only growth in your
Yes. Even
products,
at your pop ups, I realize yes.
but you've also
Yes.
seen growth in your client base in
Yes.
terms of who's picking up your products as well.
Yes. And I find that some young folks have really come back for help with their digestion and some with their respiratory and also for the men tonic. They're young as before 20. So
Yeah, well, I definitely I can definitely see that because I find over the last couple years, especially when the whole pandemic was going on, since then everybody's looking for those natural remedies. People are looking for those non-traditional ways to heal themselves and to get themselves healthy. So, have you
yeah.
noticed an increase in business or in society's need for natural products? Have you noticed that?
Yes, as I said in the beginning, it's like fashion now. Everybody wants this type of herb, want that type of herb. Everybody wants mullein. Now, mullein is a herb. It's European, so I only can get it over here or in the European areas. Now, mullein is for lungs, and I find that especially people that are smokers and a lot of young folks, young people are buying mullein for me.
And that's in the
The
respiratory?
respiratory. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All
So
right.
that's
So
proper one. Yeah.
so we heard about some of the inspiration that you had and the communities that you were engaged with and some of the reasons why you wanted to get into this field of natural medicine and clinical herbalist. Now, when did you first realize that you wanted to be an entrepreneur per se and get into this field of creating a logo, putting a name to the products, and when did you realize that?
I realized that years ago. That was in again when I start. When did I start this business? It was 2013.
2013.
I officially started the business of 2013 when I started putting um the logo of it was snow peas. It was a pod,
Okay.
and that represented fertility,
Okay, I
fertility
like that.
and growth in it. And then I rebranded in 21. And yeah, that's where it has been going on so far. My actually still my Dr. Patsy logo that's not is not on this is actually still the snow pods, the snow bean, snow peas, string beans with the little seeds in there. Yeah. And what else? What else you were saying again?
No, it's pretty much that. I was asking, when did you kind of realize you wanted to be an a quote unquote entrepreneur and start selling the products and putting a business name and doing all that. So you mentioned 2013.
Yes.
All right. So when doctor, well, I know you do so many things. Like I said, you have your daytime job. You're a healthcare worker. You're a singer. You're an author. When Dr. Patsy needs to relax, where does she go?
Where did I go?
Yeah, or what do you, is there a part of your house that you go? Do you go for a walk? Do you go for a drive? Where do you go when you need some peace and solace?
I go to the park.
To the
I go to
park.
the park. I go for my walks. I go to the gym. I um I have a special little room in my house. Um and yeah, I just go sometimes I just turn off the phone because I find that the phone has a lot of radiation and it irritates my head. Um because of the Wi-Fi and the whole heap of things. And whenever I turn it off, I feel at peace. Oh, Jesus. Because when I'm on it, it just keeps going off.
There's madness all over the place. No,
Yeah.
I definitely agree with you there.
So the park is mostly my remedy, nature, and that's what is essence of life. And I find that a lot of people needs to do that. It helps with mental health. It helps with your mood. Um, Going for a walk in the parks, get in tune with the nature. Hmm.
All right. So let me ask you this question. When was the last time that you took a day off? Now, as an entrepreneur, I don't even know if there's an answer for this. But when was the last time you said, you know what? I'm taking my phone off. I'm not answering any emails, not doing no social media. When was the last time you
I
took
need
a
to be like you.
full day off?
I need to start doing that. Never. I need to, no, I try to do it for like a 1 or 2 hours, and and like addiction of like, okay, let me turn it back on.
All of a sudden,
I
you're
need to
back
do.
on something.
We need to do it for like a day or two. But then everybody's gonna be because when I went to Cuba, that's when people started contacting me. Oh, so I need this, I need that. I'm like, can I like get a break? So whenever I try to do that, that's when people start to contact me.
Yeah, well,
So
they, they have a saying. They say people work. We work 9 to 5. We work 9 to 5, and then people say you become an entrepreneur so you don't have to work as much. When the total opposite happens, because when you become an entrepreneur, you're not just working 9 to 5. You're now working 24/7.
yeah, it's true. It is true. You don't got no rest. I mean, some of the times I'm like, the customer, I have to put them in a certain bunch so that I know what they want, so I can go in there one time because it's not easy packing out these herbs. And another thing, herbs carry a lot of energy. Okay, it's not easy to deal with herbs as a herbalist.
Yeah. All right, all right, all right.
They carry a lot of energy, and you have to be know when to, how to deal with them and everything. They're life people, life things.
Okay,
So
well, Dr. Patsy, we always see you out there. We know you're there busy making the products. Who are the key members of your team? Are you a solo businesswoman, or are there
solo.
people behind the scenes that help you well?
I'm a solo person. I'm
You're
solo.
solo.
Yeah. I'm looking to eventually get through with, help,
All
because I
right.
need it. I need it.
Well, we all
I
need a
need it.
little bit of help here and there. So I've seen, obviously, I've seen mint tea in the stores. I've seen different tonics about the place. Why is your products and services different than others out there?
Why is it different?
Yeah. Or why
Uh,
should somebody grab your mint tea as opposed to someone the mint tea and no frills?
because my one's loose leaf and it's actually coming from the countrysides. It's actually homegrown organically.
And do these things make a difference? Definitely.
Yes, they do actually, because I when I get them from up north, okay, the mint leaf doesn't even last that long, especially when I come out to do the pop up shops at yours. Um, and people when they buy it today, they call me back in a week. I want more of the peppermint, because the peppermint tea is actually homegrown. It is not GMO, like I'll go through so much things to
Yeah,
get
it's not
to
it's not
heal.
as processed. And I
Right.
definitely agree because when I get the mint tea from the normal grocery store, and when I've had your mint tea, one thing I would say is that I also get a stronger minty flavor than I do getting those generic ones. So I don't know if that's because of your process or the herbs that you're sourcing, but I personally
Yes.
definitely find that there is a noticeable difference in the taste and the flavor. So I
Yes.
definitely want to shout you out on that as well. Now I know there's other people that sell tonics that are good for this or tonics that are good for that. Um, is there is the tonics that you sell, is this a special formulated blend that you have made on your own, or are these the same ingredients that I can go to GNC or any other health food store and pick up?
No, these are things I made on my own in my big corn soup pot. In my big pot. I remember where times where I used to just use um a medium sized pot, and now I can't use that anymore. I have to use a big size pot. Though those big, when I see on Rasta with the
A
big pot,
big
them.
big big, yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
That what's I have to be using, and preserving it. And my stuff is more of I don't use regular alcohol in my stuff. I use foolproof alcohol, the ones that actually you can
Okay.
light on fire. And
Alright.
we know how to, again, how to compound it, how to do the ratios of it to make it measure it out properly. So it's like a mixology of doing it. So my herbs and soaking it, we have to soak it for a long period of time to get it potent and so forth. Of course, some of them, when they package them out in the bottles, that's why I cannot keep it too long. They actually pop open, or they
Because of
bust the
all the
buckle.
the way it's blended
The
up and the
pressure,
natural ingredients and the pressure.
right? The pressure from the herbs and the pressure from the what's it called? From the herbs and from the alcohol.
All right, all right. So to continue with some of the whys, right? Because we know you love to help people in different angles. We know you love to spread inspirational words. Now, we heard about some of the inspiration. Now, tell me why you believe that entrepreneurship is vital to economic growth and societal growth in the black community or in just the community as a whole.
Why is it what? Say it again.
Why do you believe that economic, like, or being an entrepreneur was vital to you or to society? Because you could be giving away these things for free. You could have just chosen to not do any of this. You could just be making this stuff for yourself. But at some point you said, you know what? I'm going to put myself on this entrepreneurial journey. So why do
Mhm.
you believe that was important?
Because I see there was growth in it. Mhm. It was actually growing because as again, I started out before just walking around with the same baskets there with the herbs in the packages, and that's how I started out going around selling around in the baskets, and I just sometimes I would sell it for just $2, $3, or whatever it is, just a donation.
Just to get it out there.
Yes, and that's what I used to do around those ballparks with the man them. And then I said, okay, I think I'm just gonna grow. I'm gonna make it be into official business and thing there. I could go ahead and do it, but these things do cost money. And herbs over the years, to even go get a farmer right now, agriculture is gonna cost me much, and manufacture is gonna cost me much. Okay, and over the years, herbs has increased. Herbs has increased. What used to be $5 is now $17.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, herbs is no longer cheap, and when we go into our when I go to certain dispensaries, like say Herbies or wherever the case would be, they are expensive now, and some of the times they can't even keep up themselves. So
Yeah,
we as herbalists, mhm,
no, no, I was just gonna add in that speaking with Justin a couple weeks ago as well, he also mentioned that some of the products that he has to get come from out of town or different places. And he
yes,
also mentioned some of the struggle that he had to go through. Sometimes he has to pay extra money in order to get products overseas or to, instead of getting local products, if you know the better product is at a distance, sometimes you got to pay for that shipping. And like you said, some of these things cost money, so you could have decided to just get the cheap products and keep selling it for $2. But there was a point when you realized, wait a minute, I want to provide these people the best products. So in order to do that, you have to kind of, you know, be
yes,
business minded and become an entrepreneur and put a price to the product and things like that. So I definitely agree with you there and see how I definitely agree and see how, in order to
it has to
provide
increase.
the better products, sometimes there is a cost that has to be added onto it.
Yes,
So Dr. Patsy, why do you think people should be interested in your
Like that
entrepreneurial journey?
entrepreneur put a
We've
price to
heard
the
about
product and
your
things like
health
that. So
products. We've
I
heard about
definitely
can you
the
add me
a
on?
little.
Well, this phone is gonna die. Can you add me onto your Instagram, please?
agree and see how, in order to
Oh,
provide
so
the best
the
product,
Instagram's running from
that there
this.
is a cost that has to be added
God,
onto it.
You don't
So
have your charger close by? What's your phone
no, it's on the
percentage at?
charger. It's only at 1%, but it's still charging. But the phone is hot, so I don't want it to
Okay,
cut off.
let me see how to do this. And you don't have no
Yes, mhm.
laptop close by.
Yes, I have the laptop.
You want to
I'm
grab
on
the
it right now.
laptop quickly before it dies? If you go to
Yeah,
your
yeah, yeah.
email, go to your email on your laptop and you can log in from the laptop.
On the Instagram.
No, so if you go to your Gmail, open up your Gmail on your laptop
Okay, I'll just
and then you
put it
and you'll see the same email that I sent.
here. That one was not working earlier, but let me try again. Let me try again. This all like it is like you see when you have good things coming out.
No, it's all good. I know it's the same thing with my phone. My phone's plugged in, but the percentage isn't increasing. But it's just because we're on live, so it takes a lot of juice.
Yeah, and it's running hot.
But don't worry, we'll give it a couple minutes if you can log in on the laptop because we just have a couple more minutes. Have a couple more questions. We're not going to be too much longer. But if you can
Okay.
log on to the laptop, then it should be okay. You're gonna try still?
Yeah, yeah. I'm here logging in. I pressed
Okay.
it, but it's not. It's just saying loading. I
Oh,
wonder if
that's
you
what was
can.
happening earlier?
Yes. I wonder if I can just go on your live. You can add me on your live from the YouTube,
No, it has to go through the StreamYard.
the StreamYard. Why
Yeah, it
StreamYard
has
is
to go
acting
through
like
that
this?
link that I sent. So
See,
it's
this is
is it
what it's
still
doing. That's what it's doing. Yeah.
okay? It's going to the error page. How long has the phone been on 1%? Long?
Now it's at 0% right now.
Oh, so it might shut off.
Yes.
Okay, well maybe just try to refresh the laptop. If it does cut off on the phone, then we'll just let it charge and we'll see how quick we can get back in. Um,
Okay.
but with that being said, let's just
Yeah.
move on to some of the hows.
Yes.
So, Dr. Patsy, doing
Yes.
all those different type of things, how do you stay motivated and inspired as an entrepreneur?
My customers. Customers.
Your
Totally that.
customers.
Yeah.
I love that. I guess when they come back and they said people
They're
are getting
guaranteed.
pregnant, people
Yes.
are getting their health solved.
Feeling better. Their mood is changing. Their hormones are getting balanced out. They're getting detoxed out. They're eliminating a lot of toxics. So it's the customers that
Okay.
is making me wants to making me safe, motivated, and so forth.
All right. So
Yeah.
I know we've had many personal conversations about business, about life as well. So tell the masses, how do you balance work life commitments as an entrepreneur, as a healthcare provider? How do you balance that?
Honestly, I have a big notebook and I just write down my agenda every day in sections.
Honestly, I think that's actually good advice because that's something that I've kind of
But that's
found
the only
as
way I
well
can keep up.
when I write down a list and I can check this off, check that off, and I even say to myself, all right, this list is long enough for the day. Anything else that's new is going to get put off till tomorrow. So I definitely
Yes.
agree with writing things down for sure. So now, Dr. Patsy, you also talked about how you rebranded and how you found that helped your business. Um,
Yeah.
so nowadays in today's climate, how do you approach marketing and branding to stand out in a crowded space?
How do I make that happen? This yellow thing. And me being the loud mother that I am, and I just said me bust two little lyrics. You wanna know what, see you wanna know and yeah, one of things was turn up and you know how I go. So
No, what I'm asking the question, but I already know the answer. You know what I mean? You like you said, you have your yellow branding banner. I've been
yes.
to events when Patsy said, Jamal, I hope you know I'm lighting this incense in here. I don't care what nobody says. I'm lighting this incense in
Yeah, I
here.
forgot about the inset. Yes, that too. Yes.
Also, like I said, people, in the last hour of any event, you will never find Dr. Patsy at her table. She
No.
makes sure that she's out at everybody's table. She makes sure she's making herself visible. Again, this is how you stand out. This is how you get your business recognized in different fields. So I definitely want to shout out Dr. Patsy for the way she markets and brands herself. Dr. Patsy, are you there? Okay, so we're just gonna give her another minute or two, or another couple minutes. She did mention, Dr. Patsy did mention that her phone was dying, so we're gonna try to see if she can clock on to the other device. But in the meantime, like I said, people, we're talking to Dr. Patsy about some of the trials, the tribulations, the inspiration, some of the motivation that she's picked up along her entrepreneurial journey. We heard how she got her original inspiration from from hanging out with the Rastafarian community, with from her father, from her mother, some of her family members. These these people inspired her to not only live healthy, to eat healthy, and to learn to formulate these healthy formulas that are not only going to help herself and the people around her, but these are also going to help different people in the community. And we have Dr. Patsy back with us right here. Are you on the laptop now?
Yes, I am.
All right, perfect. So we love how we got that up and going quickly. So, people, as you can see, technology is here, but we have to make sure we're working with the technology. So Dr. Patsy is back, and we the last question I was asking you was how you approach marketing and branding. We were talking about, like you said, the yellow banner. Um, you're the way you are naturally. You're an outgoing person, so you make sure that you're not only seen, you make sure that you're heard in a good way. So
Yes.
are there any other strategies for marketing and branding that you use to promote your business?
Um, I go out to places. I knew you were waiting for that to happen. Look at you. You know how long you've been asking me that question in different ways.
No, because there's, you know what I mean, there's things that people don't realize, and people, as much as I know this information, there's
Yeah.
people that don't know this information, and they need to be inspired on how to get their products out there, because there's people that have products and just honestly don't know what to do.
So I go out. As you see, I go out to the clubs. I go out to parties, Black Swimming Up Party, Black Reaction, all of these DJs them, and I actually promote it to them and artists, MCs, all of them. And when I start, when I okay started with you, example. You know, I've been listening to DJ Wiz for years. I know me and DJs is like best friends. So if he even asked me to do his showcases and do vending there. So everything is by networking. Everything is by networking and how I approach them and all of that. And you know, everybody said me trendy in dressing and on top of that too. So you know, see, I just it's just that my attitude being a loudmouth, being they said vulgar, me the business. Me say me miserable, angry, terrible, crass, miserable, me the care. Like Monty like me the care. I am just going out there to thing there, and but sometimes we butt up the bottom, and they laugh, and I love it, and I love when they laugh, and then say, you know, I'm not supporting business, man, and they
No,
do.
but you know what I mean? These are the things you got to do. Now, if you were one of those, if you were the type of person that just sat by your table and you didn't talk to
You're
nobody,
not gonna reach
and
nowhere.
then you probably wouldn't even have half the sales and the clients that you had.
There you go. And
So
majority
it's,
of my clientels are artists. Do you see my fan base? Do you see my followers?
well, it goes back to the target audience, right? When you started your
Yes,
business, the target audience was mostly male.
males.
But now you've also branched it off to not just males, but now you're heavily providing products for DJs, artists, musicians,
Yes,
because your products fill that need. These
yes.
DJs are in the club for hours, sometimes getting
They get
2 and 3
energy.
hours of
Seriously, to turn up
sleep.
with all that strength.
Yeah, so these things that make a difference. Just
Yes.
like you mentioned earlier, the men tonic and things, it's for energy, but it's not just for sexual energy.
No.
Sometimes people just need it. They need that something to refresh their body, and your products are providing that. So
Right. Yeah.
definitely want to
Because some
shout
of
you
them
out on
even
that.
said to me it helps with their immune system when them have cold or coughs. They drink some of it, like a shot of it, because it's not something to drink all at once. Okay, something just by little shots, little capfuls or so, and it help. It's like it's literally a medicine. It's literally medicine, and
Yeah.
it helps with their immune system, and they get better and revive and everything like that. So yeah, going out to places, being approachable, being a people's person, knowing just to how to approach people. Even me going to Cabana, the first time I ever going to Cabana pool the other day, and look how this DJ, what's his name, just took on to me like that, and by just being approachable, you just gotta believe in yourself, man. You just gotta believe in the man.
well, well, great advice. So, Patsy, you mentioned earlier that you're a solo entrepreneur, you're a businesswoman, that you're the one that's promoting, marketing,
Everything.
formulating these products.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to managing risks and making strategic decisions for your business, how do what's your process with that? Are you the type of person that just thinks something and just goes, or are there people that you refer to? Is there a process? Do you pray? How do you make these strategic decisions that affect your business and the products?
Right, yeah. So prayer is number one. Then we go do my researches, and then we go ask certain people that is already in the field already, like about the business, and just to hear what them have said, their advices. If it's of course if it's more legal stuff, then I will go to lawyers or so to get advices.
All right, all right, all right. Love
Yes.
that, love that.
So
Now,
mhm. I
you
weigh my pros
mentioned,
and cons.
say that again.
I learned to weigh my pros and cons. I learned to weigh my pros and cons.
Oh, okay, yeah. So you kind of figure out, okay, these are the benefits, these are the negatives, and then
Yes.
depending on, which comes on top, then you move forward with that.
Yes, so I kind of weigh what is right, what is not right, and stuff like that, such as like insurance, for like to go and sell anything their stores. You need to have a certain amount of things, uh, uh, products to be able to get insured.
Okay,
Things
see,
like
these
that.
are processes I didn't even know.
Yes, so I already got that out already, and everything like that. Yes, and as a private, and I'm a private business owner, so yeah, when you're a private herbalist, there's nobody can't really come to you at it because you're private.
All right, all right. So I personally know that you recently wrote a book.
Yes.
So how did you decide or make the decision to write a book or become an author, or how did you decide make that decision to put these thoughts out there?
It was weighing on me for a long time, sir. It was on me for a long time. Um, I started writing in my notebooks like all the time, like pen to paper all the time. I would start writing my journals, looking back, you know, every day of what I experienced. And again, being a herbalist, you're naturally a spiritualist because you have to deal with the most high earth, and you're dealing with energies from the herbs and everything. So you become in tune with self and everything around you. So you're pretty much in tune. You follow your intuitions. You have a spiritual eye open consciousness, and being in a part of the conscious community again, there's certain histories I learned and everything because certain things I did not know. I was confused, um, and then I start to grow and just what makes sense. And of course, everything is by dealing with the Most High and prayer and everything, and that's how I start to write down what is what, and even to do the videos to post onto the social medias and so forth. I write like little scripts for myself to know
Oh,
what to say and know what to do. For you now, it's different. It's just mean you have that relationship as business to business, so you already know who I am and I already know who you is. So I kind of I just say, you know what, you don't have to call me today. I just let me just give me the questions, and I'm more open. And I find that everybody's being open now on these social medias to you know what going on out there. But anyways, I said, so why can't I just start to reveal what I've been through in my real life? So I start to write down all the things that I've been through in my real life up to date, up to this moment. So I just so I put it together, and it was when something is dawn on you,
yeah.
it's just like, oh, you have to get it out.
You
You
have
have
to
to
do
get
it.
it
You
out.
have to get it out there.
If you don't get it out, something else is going to happen. And that's what happened to me this year. It was just ranging in
It
my
was burning
stomach.
to just come out.
Yes, and I had to get it out, no matter how thin it was, no matter how it was. Like I just had to get it out, and then I just did that. And again, this book is not a professional book where you think it's gone to scholarship people. It's just all about my journal, and actually, if people have bought the journals, I have not heard anything back from them, but so far, I believe it's doing them justice because they have really they looked into it, and some of them have actually read brief read it in in front of me, and they said, you know what, let me buy it right now
Yeah.
because
Well,
it matches is what they're going through.
it resonates with them. So just like you said, especially nowadays, um, specifically when we talk about social media and the different platforms, a lot of people are interested in the real life, right?
Yes,
So everybody wants to put out these images out there, this facade of
yes,
everything's all fine and roses and dandy. But there's
and I write,
people
yeah,
nowadays that love to see the behind the
the
scenes, even if
reality.
that behind the scenes is how you're making the products or how you feel today, or you wake
Yes,
up today and you don't feel like combing your hair and I'm going to show everybody I don't feel like combing my hair. A lot of
yes,
people resonate with these personal stories, so you've
yes,
taken that same concept and you've had all these feelings, you had all these notes that you had written down,
yes,
and there was something in you that said this needs to go out there. I don't need to do a video. I don't need to do a live stream. I need to take these thoughts and put it out there. And like you said, there's people that will read, will be in front of you, read a couple pages, read the back of the thing, and already it resonates with them. And it's like, I had that feeling. This
yes,
reminds me of this that I went through, and
yes,
they purchase it. So just
yes,
that, I
right
know you
away,
mentioned
right
that
away.
sometimes you may not hear back from them, but
Yeah,
believe me, the fact that they
I
purchased
saved
it
them somehow.
is probably what saved them. They could have read that book and
Yeah.
now they've elevated themselves to a whole new level. So
And not even know,
definitely,
before you even go before go on, there was a next lady that broke down when I told her about my life, what I've been through. And she said, how did you do it? I said, it's just by the Almighty God. That's how I did it. You know, much tears and sweat and blood, literally blood that I had to go through to get to here and everything. And she said, you know what? I said, then do it, sister. And speak out what you've been through. You got to speak it
yeah,
out. And this was, remember, at your how we were at the mental at your
at
show
the
there.
Black Mental Health Week.
That's where the recovery, the breakthrough start to happen.
But and you see what I mean? It's putting yourselves in front of the right people. That
Yes,
event was about Black mental health,
yes.
and and you were letting somebody know about your story, about
She
your
broke down.
journey,
Yeah.
and that's, for all we know, that's that advice you gave her was
Mm-hmm.
what she needed at that time, because she was at that
Chills.
event
The
because
chills.
maybe
Yeah.
she might have been going through a
Yes.
trial or a tribulation. But
Yes.
sometimes it's that one person you speak to, it's that
Yes.
one person that reads your story,
Yeah.
that makes your whole process worthwhile.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So I
That's it.
definitely love that. I love the fact that you took that energy. You had no fear, to
No.
put yourself out there, because there's many of us that have things
Scared.
inside, but they're afraid
They're
to
scared. Yep.
share it
Right. And then a
because of how
documentary
people
I
will
did
see
last year.
them.
Yes, and a documentary I did last year too, where I did the video shooting of that too last year about that. And I said, you know what? Let me go into writing now.
Yeah, because I think a lot of times when we have these thoughts, we're too concerned about how people are going to see us, not thinking about how us sharing the information is going to help a whole masses of people out there.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
it's definitely think it's a great thing that you did with sharing your story and putting it out there, and not
Yes.
just in the book. I've listened to some of the songs, I've seen the videos. So you're making sure that you're inspiring people and
Thank you.
helping people on all platforms.
Yes.
So I
Yes.
want to shout you out for that.
Thank you.
So how can people find Dr. Patsy
All right.
and her
You
product?
can, so I have a website. I need to get it updated. And I don't know how you do it, man. Being a graphic designer, man, it's time consuming. Jesus Christ. I know I can understand when I'm bothering you and like hurry up, like, and I'm like, you know what? I can't bother with. I can't. You know.
It's like,
I
let me
can't
let
get
me give
mad at
him some
everything.
time. Let me give him
Time
some.
consuming. I don't know how you do it, man. The website needs to get updated for me. So that needs to be done. But that is drpatrealiz.com. So that's DRPATREALIZ.com. I don't know if you want to put it in the chat or whatever. Um, the next one is Instagram. Instagram is DRPATZI. That is the major one that has tripled over the years. Get me on Instagram mostly for everything. And TikTok is the same, but it's long form. So it's Dr. Patsy. And YouTube channel is the same, Dr. Patsy Naturalist. So DRPATZI, Naturalist, right there. And that's how you can get at me.
All right, people, let me just put this up, put the website up so you can see this here. Hold on here. So if you're looking for Dr. Patsy, you can check out this website here. Dr. Patrick. Now, you know when I'm reading this, you know what I was reading? Dr. Pat Real is. But how did you say it? Dr. Pat Real is?
Yes.
What? Okay. So make sure you check out the website. Make sure you check out the Instagram. And your products are on the website as well. Like some of the hot products, like the men's tonic and the respiratory, are on there as well.
Yes. Yes.
All right. Now I'm also aware that you have an online series and you have some some info sessions coming up. Can you let the people know about when that is and where they could view those?
All right. So same here on here on YouTube channel, Dr. Patsy Naturalist. It's going to be next week on November 1st after 8 o'clock. And it's also going to be available on the Instagram IG live, Dr. Patsy. I'm just going to be talking about and have some announcements, such as the birthday thing coming up, book signing coming up. Also, what's it called? Talking about kidneys. This one is going to be specific on kidneys because I find that a lot of people are sick with kidneys and autoimmune diseases. So that will be next week on the IG live, Dr. Patsy, and also on YouTube channel. So Dr. Patsy Naturalist, and this is November 1st at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
All right, perfect. So, Dr. Patsy, first
Yes.
thing we want to do is we want you to let them know about the birthday party coming up, let them know the information. And also, do you have any words of wisdom, words of inspiration for any entrepreneurs out there, anybody who's watching, anybody who might be thinking of starting a business, but they're apprehensive about what to do, or anybody that who has as an existing business and maybe thinking about quitting? Just give me some words of inspiration, motivation, or any advice that you have for the people out there.
So you reap what you sow. Over my times of growing, my business has paused and it has grow up again. It paused and grow, and now it's steady. Don't give up on life, no matter how much fights you get. Spiritual fights, physical fights, they're always going to come because the more you rise, is the more fights you get. And some people will badmine you. May get it from a family, right down to strangers, but I get more love from the strangers. And that how about that? Um, don't give up on life. Um, please meditate. Meditate. And those who want to believe in Bible or Bible not read the Bible. Pray to the Most High, go for walks, get in tune with the nature, because the nature is your spirituality. Get in tune with your spirituality. Avoid negativity. Avoid the things in the past, because whatever happened to you in the past is not happening to you now. So let it go. And what you have to do, if you have to go get help to get therapy, go get your therapy help. Right? You gotta learn to let go. And it's the hardest thing I know, because I go through it till this day sometime. Letting go is the hardest thing. And apologizing and moving on and going on to, you got to learn to tell yourself that, you know what, there is better coming for me. And every time you you're at that crossroad or breakthrough, there's always some type of distraction always coming
Yep.
to mess with you. You notice that?
Yeah,
So you
it's
gotta
something there to
know,
test you.
yes, you gotta know how to use your eyes keenly of what is a distraction and get it out of your way. Sometimes you gotta just say, I pray to remove this blockages out of my life forever. And that's how I got to where I am today, is by seriously prayers. That's exactly how I got it through today. um don't look back, don't be feel sad that your sales are not growing as much. As again, pray about it. I remember telling my next vendor about it, and now look where she is right now. She's making that money. And um you just got to keep on pushing. You got to keep on pushing. Be tell you know Sometimes you have to, if you have to walk and speak to yourself, do it like a mad person, but cure, because you're trying to get your mind, recollect your mind, and find out what to do next and how to make this business together again, or to make it grow. Start going out there more. Fix up your cards. Start approaching people. Tell them what your business is about, and give them a little, what's it called, elevator pitch,
Yep, elevator pitch.
and say, "Hi, I'm a clinical herbalist practitioner. Are you interested in alternative medicine?" Simple as that. If they're not, that's okay. Move it on. Keep it moving. Not everybody is the same, and everybody. I'm gonna leave this right here. Not everybody is the same, and everybody is different. You get that? Not everybody is the same, and everybody is different.
Everybody is different. Yeah.
That means your body, everything, soul and mind is different. What you reap is what you sow, and what you sow is what you reap. So you got to put that out. That's what it is out there. You got to know what you're doing. And what I leave this right now, Proverbs 18, verse 21. That tongue is the power. So be careful what you say and
Be
do.
careful what you say and be
Use
careful what you speak.
right. So use it for positivity only, because it will lead to generations onto generations. Generations are real, man. So start using positive tongue now. And then I'll leave it right there. What
All
else you
right.
want
Well,
me to do? Oh, my birthday
thank you.
thing.
Yeah, thank you for that great information. I think that was great advice in terms of, like you said, keep going, um, be real, think positive, and be careful what you speak, because just as Hillary mentioned in a different way earlier, your words become actions. It's
Yes.
going to happen, and your words that you speak today can affect generations to come.
Yes.
So speak positive, think positive, and
Positive.
do
Do
good.
the actions too. Yep. Yep.
And other than that,
The
let us
power to
know
your
about
tongue.
your birthday party that's coming up. Let us know about the Righteous Warrior, the date, and
All
anything
right.
else we need to know.
So Righteous War is coming up on November 18, and it's gonna be by myself, DJs, Josh Lucas, King Turbo, Dre Skull, and Rootsman. My sponsors are a long list of sponsors. Okay. But come and join us as sponsors, my sponsors and supporters out there, such as JR Thomas, uh, Holy Spotlight, even Empro Graphics himself. And there is a vendor going to be there, a fur lady. She does fur. Her name is SB. So she does a fur boutique. So come and check us out on, and I'll be there doing my book signing and doing the mentonics and so forth there. So you come out, come and get a nice slice of cake, and it's right there. There you go. There you go. Righteous Warrior, November 18. Tickets are available on Ticket Gateway for $10. And actually, it's going, the early bird is ending this week. Oh, shoot, I have to go advertise it again. And after that, it's going to go up more. So get your tickets now. I also have them available on my person. I have them available in physical.
All right, people. So you see the flyer right here. This is Dr. Patsy's birthday bash happening Saturday, November the 18th. A thing she's calling the Righteous Warrior. So
Righteous
it's the red,
warrior.
gold, and white fur edition, and she
Yes.
is celebrating with all Scorpios and Sagittarius. Music by the big bad Ricky Turbo out of the King Turbo crew,
Yes.
alongside Joshua Lucas, the future. Also playing music, the big bad Rootsman International alongside DJ Dre Skull, hosted by the very own Dr. Patsy, the Righteous Warrior. And like she mentioned, she has lots of great sponsors on the event. Physical tickets are available, and for us, for the trendy up to the time people, you can also purchase your tickets on Eventbrite. That's Saturday, November 18th. Dr. Patsy's Earth Strong, the Righteous Warrior. So make sure y'all check it out. Make sure y'all get tickets, and make sure y'all stay in tune with Dr. Patsy. You can check her out on her podcast. You can check her out on social media. And most definitely, you can check her out at the majority of Empro Graphics events. So,
Yeah.
Dr. Patsy,
At the
any
buildings.
final words for the masses out there?
Stay righteous.
Stay righteous. I love it. So, Dr. Patsy, again, I want to thank you for taking the time for being on the show. We had a little bit of technical issues earlier, but it
Yeah.
looks like everything was sorted out in the
Will
later
be all
half. So,
downloaded. Yeah.
yeah. So thank you for your patience there. And again, thank you for taking the time. Thank you for being real with us. Thank you for sharing some of your inspiration, your motivation, and some of the trials and tribulations that you went through as an entrepreneur. You were able to provide us so much insight on your business, so much insight on these natural remedies. And I love that information, that closing speech that you gave with the words with the words to the entrepreneur. So again, thank you for your time. Thank you for your energy. And always thank you for your good vibes.
Thank you. Blessed. Take care.
Blessings. All right, people. So we just spoke with Dr. Patsy of the Naturalist Clinic. We got to hear some of the inspirational stories about why she started the business. We heard who she got the inspiration from the Rastafarian communities, as well as a lot of local entrepreneurs, DJs, who to this day still support her products and help her push her brand. So I want to give a shout out to everybody that was tuned in today on the Instagram. I want to shout out everybody that was watching on the YouTube, and I want to definitely shout out everybody that was on the Facebook. We had lots of people tuning in. We had lots of interactive comments today. And again, shout out to Dr. Patsy from the Naturalist Clinic, as well as our first guest, Hillary Dunkley Campbell, Christian author and owner of Hillary Encourages. And you can find her on Instagram as well at Hill Dunk. So, people, this has been another episode of EPG Biz Talk Behind the Brand, where we take time and find out the who's, the what's, the where's, the when's, the why's, and the how's behind some of these entrepreneurial stories. So make sure you check us out at our upcoming event happening November the 11th, November the 12th, and Sunday, December the 10th. It's the fifth annual Durham Region Holiday Marketplace. Now, people, if you've been tuned into my social media over the last couple of days, over the last couple of weeks, you would have heard me talk about a big announcement that we had coming. If you watched us last week, you would have gotten a little preview of what that announcement was. We're going to be doing a full release on Instagram tomorrow, but if you would like to get a preview of that announcement, make sure you hit up the YouTube page, check out last week's show, and you can get a preview of that information. This has been another episode of EPG Biz Talk Behind the Brand. And I think I want to close today's episode with just a little speech, a little information about branding and what branding means to me.
So we always have to remember that with branding, a branding is not just a logo. Branding is not just a name. A brand is a part of your trademark. It's not just a trademark. It's not a symbol or a jingle. A brand is part of you. It's part of your business. So to understand what a brand is, you must first understand that your brand does not exist in your marketing department or your public relations team or your CEO's office. A brand only exists in the minds of your customers. So simply put, a brand is the sum total of all of the impressions of that a customer has based on every interaction that they had with you, your company, your products. Each time these interactions tells a story to your customers. So if your customer believes that a product is new and innovative, then these attributes become part of your brand in the customer's mind. If your packaging is beautifully illustrated, they may view your brand as sophisticated or elite. On the other hand, if your service is poor, customers may think that you're stubborn or rude. If your print materials are designed in Microsoft Paint, you may look cheap and amateur. So to manage your brand, you always want to decide on your brand image, and then you want to make sure that all of the interactions with your customers are aimed towards that brand. So that will flow through your website, that goes through your printing, that goes through your social media ads. You always want to make sure that everything you're doing relates to your brand and to the image that you're trying to convey. So why is that important? Why is branding important? Because proper branding elevates your brand. It elevates your brand. People make purchasing decisions or more based on the brand. And I showed you those examples with the t-shirts and with some of the cups. So we always have to remember that with branding, a branding is not just a logo. Branding is not just a name. A brand is a part of your trademark.